Hello, and welcome to BonkTable. I'm Mass, and today is with me my wonderful co-host Cassandra.
Hi!
And we have our esteemed guest, standing in at 7 foot 32 inches, Kang.
That's crazy. That's a crazy measurement.
I don't think I've ever measured that much, you know?
Yeah, but you're also a giant.
Wait, 7 and 32 inches? Because if so, I'm very intimidated.
He's like 9 feet tall.
No, I'm not that tall. Just a normal height person.
Yeah.
I am Kang. Just a vanguard on the Discord. I'm a chill, just so everyone knows.
I'm chill. But however, the first time I did meet you was probably one of the funniest interactions because you kind of just like George Lucas like shot forward like over to me and was like, "Hello," and I'm like, "Oh God, this is a monster of a man."
The thing was like I saw two people standing there, and I heard your voice, and I'm like, "That sounds like Mass."
Damn it!
I looked over and I saw you, and you were just kind of awkwardly standing there in the Parabellum booth, looking for something to do. And I'm like, "Get him!"
that was my first mistake, trying to find something to do.
Exactly.
Oh, it was wild.
You and Skilling got to be towered over and like, "Hi, how's it going? How can I help you? I'm not working this booth, but I'll do something for you."
Sir,
can I go stand on your shoulders, please?
If you change some of the start conditions of what you just described, I know a significant segment of my own community that would be really engaged with that idea.
That's fair.
Everyone wants a Big Daddy Kang in their life.
I mean, everybody does. Even I do.
All right. So today we have brought Kang on because we're going to be discussing tables, and there is going to be a visual element, and we're going to go over all my tables, and supposedly Kang is very good at making tables and ranking tables and debating tables. So I have shared my screen with both Cassandra and Kang. Also, do you want your human name to be revealed? I forget if it did ever get revealed.
I'm fine with just going by Kang now. If someone knows my name, they know my name. If it slips out, it's not a big deal.
Okay, cool. I always forget and how people want to deal with that. So with that, I did have this all set up ready to go, and then the software I use, good old Paint 3D, decided to crash at like 75 photos, and it was like, really?
Well, you should have used Paint 2D.
Yeah, well, I don't know why.
Maybe with one less D per photo, it would have worked out better.
That's how I draw That's how I do all my battle reports, actually. I'm super lazy about this.
Yeah, I would say if you're ever having computer performance trouble, and this applies to almost anything that you use a computer for, drop one of the Ds first, and you'll find that probably the performance increases high enough that you can finish whatever you're doing in just one less D.
Yeah.
3D is still pretty tough for computers. You'd think we've been doing it for so long that it wouldn't be a big deal, but it definitely still is.
But I'm not even using it for anything for 3D. I just want to paint on stuff because it's actually pretty decent just painting on pictures and setting all my whole framework up.
See, but that's all the more reason to drop the D.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you right now, but I'm also just disappointed in you.
I get that a lot. You sound like my therapist.
That conflicting pride and disappointment.
That's a joke because I've never been in therapy.
Oh, no.
Which,
No.
I think you probably figured out by listening to this podcast.
I mean, bird of a feather.
Wonderful.
It's okay, I have a good idea of what's wrong with me, so we can just save the time and I'll just not do anything about it. And we're basically in the same place we would be either way.
Oh my God.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so we're gonna do this the good old-fashioned way of I am going to basically take every moment between each of these instead of being able to just like flip through them really quickly. We're gonna load them in every time. So we're gonna see how well that goes.
The 6-hour episode.
I hope not, but
I won't take that long.
The fabled 60.
The 60, we got 5.5. We gotta keep adding more time.
That's the thing. Once we run out of ideas, it's just whatever we were doing but more, and what we were doing was overlong podcasts. So,
man, I am debating about that 24-hour like podcast / stream where
Live stream.
yeah,
having
where I'm just
people
gonna have a
on.
guest every hour, and then I'm gonna torture them and suffer.
That's
There's
crazy.
enough- you could just have vanguards from all over the world. you
I'll
know?
do that, but I have to be allowed to smoke meth for the whole.
I'm choking on my spit. Please
Can't
stop.
get in trouble.
Oh my god. Can't imagine that going poorly at all.
Hour 1 will be fine. Hour 24 is gonna be extremely fucking weird.
Oh,
It's just cast making like animal noises in the background. It's like, what is happening? Don't.
Oh no,
Don't
I'll
make eye
be
contact.
sharing coherent ideas, just the worst you've ever
Oh,
heard of
boy.
or imagined.
Oh boy.
The unfortunate thing is that you will be able to understand what I'm saying.
and that is the scary part.
Oh no.
Unfortunate and scary.
Again, you sound like my therapist.
Oh, I mean, I've been told I sound like a therapist sometimes, but I don't believe it.
You just.
As a preface, though, for this podcast, some credentials of why I might be okay talking about terrain. I've ran a bunch of tournaments for Conquest specifically. I've made all the terrain. I focus a lot on the terrain rules and setup. I argue with a lot of people for fun about terrain setups and why I'm right and they're wrong. So we'll go with that.
Sounds like it's for serious then.
Yeah, we're serious.
For real.
And I have had a couple of Chios players, qualifiers for Worlds, say they like my tables. So there we go. Those are my qualifications. If you don't like them, that's fine. Fuck off.
Yeah. Like, yeah. He's my guest, and he can say whatever he wants. For the next however long this lasts. But you are going to critique all of the tables I have played on for the last 2-ish years, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I'll be doing a number of different categories: playability, style, how good it looks, all that.
Level of dog shit.
I don't know. I don't really have a level.
Hug and kissability.
Yeah.
Can
Can you fuck this table, Kang? Get in there.
I didn't want to say it, but yeah.
Yeah.
What is how fuckable is the table?
That's a bit difficult. I'll have to say. Tables
I-
innately. are just
I can
kinda
easily assess that. That's the difference between you and me.
That's fair. I'm worried about the wood grain getting where it doesn't need to be.
Don't worry. That's why we have the mat. We got the mouse pad mat ready to go for you.
The mat and the
no.
rubber sheet.
Yeah. Oh.
Sorry, I'm like I had kind of a bad day, so I'm really on fire today. That's how that manifests. Is like
No,
I deal with stress by just being even funnier.
That's fine. I love it. Being funny is the best. Stress through what's it called? Manic funny is just one of the best things in the world.
It's so good.
That's my second Juggernaut kill since we started recording the
Oh my
podcast. I just want
God.
to say
We're not even at the wall yet.
I know, but I was just finishing up. I'm gonna stop until we get to the wall.
Oh man, the walls. I think it's halfway through, so we're really gonna dig here to find out. So if there's a table that's either like not appealing or Kang does not have much to say on, we're just gonna skip and go to the next one. But we are starting with the first game that I have in my battle reports documents. I have like folders of this crap. What I believe is actually a game between me and Cassandra. So Kang, here is the first table. I think this is Echelon.
Yeah, that looks like old Echelon, like the
Yeah.
additional scenario one. First problem I see is there's 3 obstructing, 2 of them possibly being Garrison. A lot of the time, Garrison is dog shit. It breaks the game in so many different ways. Don't ever use it. That's my first bit of advice, just in general. I'm sure anyone else who plays the game will tell you that if you haven't played it yet. But-
Counterpoint, if you're a Nords player and somebody else sets up the table and you are in double march distance of your bow chosen to garrison terrain, you're not accountable for the advantage, the massive advantage that you have there. That's free.
I mean,
You don't
that's
have
fair,
to feel
but
bad
also,
about that.
like with the changes to how things are measured, you're measuring from the middle of the piece of terrain as well, so you're losing range.
Oh my
for one.
god, really? Is it that bad?
Oh,
It is.
I didn't see that. That's buck nasty. Forget it.
Yeah,
We stopped using it.
yeah. So it's you don't count as being on the table. You measure from the center point of the piece of terrain. It can't go like there's a piece on an objective marker and it can't go there, or objective zone, and it can't go there, even
Yeah.
according to the additional's rules.
Starting strong.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with the other 3 pieces of terrain, except that there's only 3, and there's not trees on the third one, so I can't tell if that's supposed to be a forest or if it's supposed to be something else.
I think they're supposed to be all like hindering obscurings and then 3 obstructions, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
the old 3 and 3.
Yeah. I feel like this is advantage to one side more than the other.
It really is. And like in a tournament scenario, you don't want that. What you kind of do a little bit, you want to have some interesting terrain types. In a narrative scenario, this would be perfectly fine, even though I still hate it.
So what kind of letter grade are you giving this one?
I'll give it a D. It passes like most sniff tests, but it's not. I wouldn't use it at a tournament.
This is stupid. I should get to be able to draw on it too.
You just because you're gonna draw dicks.
No, I wouldn't even. I mean, I would draw a couple dicks, but there would be so much more than that.
One thing you didn't really touch on either is like the actual dimensions that they ask for Conquest terrain is 6x9, and it wants you to be like 9 inches away from all other terrain. That's really sparse when you think about it. It's big pieces of terrain that are really sparse, and it kind of sucks sometimes when you're setting up a table and people just shove the stuff off to the side.
Yeah, like this guy.
Yeah, this is 3 more. This is Echelon again. This is 3 more Garrison. These are all Garrison. It looks like that thing in the middle is.
Oh, here. I'll just do it in orange. This guy's for sure a Garrison. These two are for sure obstructions.
The fences were always so. Yeah, I know how the unspoken language of how these tables were set up. The little houses were always obstructing. The big rocks were always obstructing. The fences were always Garrison.
Yeah, that's probably hindering obscuring. That's probably hindering obscuring.
Well, we had to just figure it out. Usually we would say, well, it's just hindering obscuring, because I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time and effort to remember that I have to roll a 6 to get killed.
Maybe, you know what? I think maybe the ones without trees, I think those are like broken grounds.
No, we never put that much thought into it, I promise you that.
Well, we did after a while, but probably not this early on. That was probably a hindering obscuring.
See, I do run those specific GW not pie plates, but forest plates as like odd terrain types. We have our own special forest templates and things like that. So those they can be all sorts of stuff, and that'd be fine. I don't like this. This is 5 pieces of terrain you can't really interact with at all.
Yeah, and you get these wonderful lanes right here and right here, and that's it.
Yeah, you have 2 lanes with maybe possibly branching like avenues in between the other pieces off to the side. So that's really frustrating to look at and then want to play on. Like as a player, I would hate that.
Yeah,
because then I can't really do much.
You'll never believe it. As a player, I did hate that. I mean, that wasn't my game, but I've definitely played on tables like that.
Don't worry, we'll find them. It only gets better.
I think this one is a D-, because you can still play on it. It's just not going to be a great experience. Wouldn't use it for a tournament. I could see some sort of narrative scenario being created for this, but not otherwise.
Okay, so I don't think you should be looking at these as narratives. I think you should be looking at these either as tournaments or casual game days.
That's fair.
Like,
casual game days, I wouldn't want to walk up on this.
This was because this one for sure was a casual game day.
So bold take perhaps, but I've really developed the opinion over time that these narrative scenarios that people talk about, that's like, in a way, that's almost like the commander of playing a war game, or the EDH.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's such a different deal, and some people are really into it, and other people are really not. But, like, I don't know. For my part, personally, and I'm just ranting about something for no reason, because I can take control of the situation and do that, but...
I agree completely, though. Like, narrative scenarios and narrative play for tabletop games is such a different thing than playing the way it's meant to be played as a competitive or a competition. Because it's
Like-
all about creating a story, and creating a story usually isn't conducive to playing fairly.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't want to, like for my part, I don't want to spend 3 hours playing a game where I'm almost certainly gonna get smoked because of somebody had a really whiz bang waterfall that they wanted to build a whole table around, and now we have to have a narrative game. Like and I'm sure some people love that. I don't know who those people are. I don't want to know them.
Well, let me
But they
tell you,
must
I am
exist.
one of those people, Cass. I've got a big ass fucking castle that I'm gonna force somebody to play a siege with me on.
Don't worry, we'll get to that one.
You know what?
We all know what we're really
Wait,
here for.
do you actually have that castle, or is that a meta joke about what we're about to talk
No,
about?
I posted a cat like on Christmas. I got a
I
castle.
saw that castle, but
Ooh,
Yeah, it's 54 millimeter scale.
damn.
It's gonna be perfect.
Like I have this cardboard train as well, and I did go buy there was a castle version of the cardboard train, and I did build it, and it is fun to pull out every once in a while. Works great for like D&D and stuff. But anyway, so this table we used in our first local tournament. This was round 1. So now this is a tournament table. Nice thing that the TO did. I'll do it in, I don't know, let's do it in this pinkish color. Is put little tags on what stuff was. Really appreciate that. That is a really good one right there.
This is old Breakout, I think.
Yeah.
Or is this?
This was done.
This is old Breakout.
23/03/26. So it'd be March 26th.
Honestly, I kind of like this table just from the looks of it because you have all that central hindering obscuring. So you're sort of like forced to go around the edge with a lot of your stuff. But then you have those little palisades and the skeletons, which could be like dangerous or something like that. It doesn't create big lanes, but it gives you clear lanes if you want to do like cavalry.
Yeah.
But it also obstructs a lot of shooting across the board, which is very important for, a rank and flank game. So, I don't really remember Breakout all that much, the old one.
It was like the current one, but bigger zones.
Yeah, they were just 12-inch zones, weren't they?
Yeah.
So, I think this is a serviceable table. I'll give it a B.
Yeah.
Good job. B. All right. Let's go to.
I would play it. I would take it. Obviously, was at a tournament, wasn't this? This is an event.
That was like a local.
Yeah. This is fun.
Can tables be S tier on our scale? Because if so, you should have to draw the cool S when one scores that.
Oh, are you talking about the?
Okay, if we actually get to an S tier table, I will draw the cool SS.
You better, because I can do it. I can do it perfectly every time. I'm just saying.
I'm glad because we both know that I will have difficulties.
And if that excites you, listener, my DMs are open.
Cass doing the cool SS. I am going to in this light blue. That's the 6-inch, and that is the other 6-inch.
What was this one?
This is old head to head.
Yeah,
and I'm just
the same as new head to head.
Yeah, I'm just highlighting pieces of terrain in various colors, so we kind of have something of like orange is garrison, black is obstructions, greens are hindering, obscuring, esques. Just to give an idea.
I think what I'm noticing is there's not a whole lot of actual variety with some of these tables. It's all hindering, obscuring, and then it's 3 obstructing.
Yeah.
Like throwing in some interesting terrains like hills or maybe even water helps a lot.
We're not allowed to drink here.
I mean, like to go off of the PDF for a moment. They give you a lot of recommendations that are really useful to go by that you can just ignore if you want. And this does seem to ignore only one of them, but that's fine. The terrain is a little spread out. That forest down at the bottom right corner could have been shoved a little bit closer towards the middle, but otherwise it's not a bad table. I just would remove one of the houses, get rid of that piece of shit garrison terrain in the middle, and put a hill there,
Yeah, no.
So
probably
I call that a C.
C. Okay.
It's not bad. It's just still not great.
Once again, this was played at a tournament.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine.
And
just any table with garrison on it immediately loses an entire ranking to my opinion. So.
Oh, Well, at least we're establishing the ranking system. All right, this is the last round of that local.
You know, I really like that tower, but
Like aesthetically or positioning wise?
aesthetically,
Yeah, there we go.
Okay,
also
just checking.
I've put impassable terrain directly in that position before, and it was very amusing and fun, in my opinion. Are those obstructing?
Yes, those are obstructing, leading to that blue zone.
That's dog shit. This is an F rank.
I'm circling all the things that are either obstructing or garrison right now. So, with my wonderful color legend that I've just randomly came up with, you can't move through it if it's black. So that's an obstruction.
that's
That garrison is orange, and then we have one setted forest.
That is way too much.
I want you to know something, Kang. This was round 3, and Cass and I played on this table.
Oof.
You
That
could-
is way too much.
I
For
will-
like,
There's Cass's minis.
oh my.
If I remember, we fought to a standstill.
Oh, I think we drew on this, or
Yeah.
either one of us gave.
This is
one
where I
point
got.
at the-
I played. No, we tied. I remember it specifically because
God.
I've played one tournament and I went 1-1-1. So I think statistically, I'm the most average player in the entire community.
This was a grind of a game, to be honest.
I
Yeah.
believe it. It would make it so because you've only got so much space to actually put regiments now.
Yeah. How do you even win on a stinker like this?
Yeah, it's like
Is you have that square and then you have like the approaches. Yeah.
This is
just
where the government computer tells you that the only way to win is not to play.
it
Yeah.
really was. Like this is all yeah, in blue F.
Yeah, this one's kind of just dog. shit.
Would
F
you-
in the chat, boys.
Yeah. If you saw this at a tournament, what would you do?
Am I playing in the tournament?
Yes, you are Cassandra or Mass at
I would call a judge and be really pissed.
okay, that's fair.
Okay,
Like,
what if
what
the
is
judge made the table?
I'd be mad. I'd berate him. I'm like, what is this? Do you expect me to play on this?
Do you expect me to play with sticks and stones? Carl built this in a cave.
Carl built this in a cave. Jesus. That reminds me of a story. We'll tell it if we. Yeah, I don't think we have a picture of that table, but I'll tell it later on.
If you can find a picture of that table, send it to me, and I will slap it into this
I
wonderful ranking we are doing.
Oh dear. Do you have any tables that have water on them? Maybe.
Yeah, right here. We
Oh,
learned
hey, here
after
we
the
go.
tournament. We learned about water.
We can talk about it this
This-
table then.
Okay, so
The problem is
here,
the
here we go. Let's get these weird ass Necron ruins going.
our
See,
store. No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go ahead. I want to hear this before I say anything.
I'm just gonna say one important thing to note with our local store is that we only have those perfectly round, approximately cup diameter water features to work with. So that definitely impacted how the tables were designed around having water features.
Okay, I'm gonna
Believe
do
me,
this pink for hills. That's what I've chosen.
Currently, the only water features that we have at my store are the same, but they're 9-inch wide.
They're massive.
The big
Yeah,
dip.
they're huge.
Yeah.
They're huge, which will lead into the story in a moment. But I don't mind the two waters on either side of the zone, but there's nothing else.
Yeah, it's way too open.
The hills are the hills are mostly fine, like where they are. That creates some interesting positioning for shooting, but you suffer from not having any hindering or obscuring at all throughout the rest of the table. It's
No.
just all the obstructing, which you can't even pass through or pass over.
I'll tell you something. This was a 100K player dream of just being like, oh, horses don't get messed over, and the Merc crossbows don't get messed over. Nice, let's just go to town.
Yeah, I believe it. This would be like 100K player just says fuck it, we ball.
That's the end of the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. I remember that one.
But speaking of that story, the first time I used water was when Carl and Steve were going to play each other, And Carl was playing City States, Steve was playing OD, and I slapped in the middle of the table, in the middle objective, which was a 9-inch zone, directly centered on the objective, because I thought it was funny at the time, a piece of water terrain that was also hindering.
What is wrong with you?
Ask Carl, there's a lot. But I watched that game, and it was the slowest, most painful slog for a unit of hoplites to fight a unit of, I believe it was Legionnaires at the time.
Oh, brutal.
Oh my
Just
god.
smacking the shit out of each other in a slap fight that did nothing.
They're basically like Clash 1, Clash 2.
Yeah, the Clash 1-inning.
Yep. And like their other stuff was trapped behind them too, so they couldn't come in, they couldn't do anything. Oh wait, it was bulwark, so they had the two objectives on either side of them as well.
This is
on
awful.
the 12-inch zones. It was really terrible, and I admit it now, but I still think it was funny as fuck.
It's like a wargamer torture porn movie.
Pretty much.
And god.
There's elements of that here, but at the same time, it's much better because there's two smaller ones that are outside of the zone.
God, I cannot imagine them being like taking over the entire zone.
Yeah, it was bad.
Here's the thing. This is just a personal pet peeve, and it has nothing to do with how the table plays, but like, there's nowhere in the world that you would just see two circles of water like that around something. That doesn't happen. Like, if we're talking about the importance of verisimilitude in table designs and in painting up our miniatures and everything like that, like, I don't think there's just two perfect circles of water anywhere on the goddamn earth that man didn't make.
That is another thing. Like, aesthetically, it doesn't look that great.
Well, like, also, it's Necron Ruins, so of course man didn't make it. Necron did.
Yeah, like, that's another thing, too. When you start thinking about tournament stuff and everything, you're also trying to build the tables to look good for players that aren't playing. You want to attract them to the game. And I think the most consistent issue I ever had when we were using just 2D terrain that was all like FDM filament printed plates was, this doesn't look good. I don't want to play this. So, that's what started the whole, like, I have to actually paint and do like 12 tables of terrain that have to look good and still be useful and functional for the game. So that is something to think about as well. This table, though, it's not the worst. It could be better. So a C-.
Okay. C-. Okay. Cool.
I have a philosophical table design question for you for later once we get there. So
why not right now?
One of us will remember. Okay. Yeah. I'm just worried it'll take up some time. But
who cares? We're here for 6 hours.
In a tournament scenario, so let's say you have, fuck, how am I gonna say this? So if you have 3 scenarios for a tournament, let's say hypothetically it's 3 rounds, just for because.
Yeah.
Each round is the same, like every table is playing the same scenario.
Right.
Would each of those tables for you have identical table setups, or would there be different table setups by table in terms of the terrain and stuff?
I try to create interesting tables no matter what, and then I do the scenario. So because you don't have all like identical terrain, they are usually somewhat different, even if it's just having the same terrain but different placements.
Yeah.
So like if both of them have 2 hills, I try not to set up the hills the exact same way on either table.
I get that.
Yeah.
I like that.
There's only so much of making them only so much you can do to make them the same. So,
but I mean, in an ideal like tournament, from designing a tournament standpoint, what do you think is ideal? To have identical table setups for each scenario, or to have the variance from table to table?
Personally, I prefer variance, but ideally, it probably is having the exact same setup. So that there's. But I also think that creates issues where because when you have the exact same setup, you probably also have predetermined terrain placement. which is something that PB's been talking about a bit. And if you have predetermined terrain placement, you can approach the scenario outside of the game much more easily, and you can plan for it so much more easily, which I think actually removes a lot of decision making when you arrive at the table.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it probably is just better to have all the same terrain and placement, but I don't personally believe it should be that way.
No, that's
But
fair.
No,
I
yeah.
definitely see what you're saying, and I don't want to argue every possible technicality of it with you or
Oh, yeah.
anything, because that's not why I asked. But no,
It's
that's fair.
fundamental the
I just think
belief.
it's an interesting because I mean, there's almost like if I was hypothetically approaching a tournament and I could somehow directly or indirectly influence which table I was on, I could look for setups that favor me and try to,
That is true.
sometimes it's not something that you have any direct control over, mind you, so it's a little bit of whatever. But I mean, that's how you gamble a lot in your life. So I don't think it's totally out of the question for that to be something that somebody would do in that type of scenario.
I do think that is something that you kind of have to address as a TO. Is when you're making tables, you kind of have to think about, does this really advantage someone else?
Yeah.
Does it give another army too much of an advantage? Like that's something I've kind of been talking with Carl about because he's been playing Nords more often, and I've been experimenting more with perilous terrain.
Yeah.
Nords gives no shits at all about perilous terrain because almost everything has Tenacious One.
Oh yeah.
Even if they fail, they don't care.
Huh.
Meanwhile, everyone else will take one wound every time they move for every stand on a 4, 5, and 6. That's what Perilous does. But so I now kind of have to think like, do I really want to have Perilous terrain? Because Nord players will not take the damage, but everyone else will more likely take it. Is that something I should think about them as like their army rule? Because it's not an army rule. They ignore terrain a lot as an army rule. But should I allow that to be another like thing that they're just given?
Yeah. That's
So
fair. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, there was like I know with the Nords there was that thing at one point where it was like I forget who the heck it was. Some person was like, you should move the terrain on the table to make it more advantageous for you as the Nord player, so you can get effect out of your army roll. And I'm like, no, don't touch the terrain.
I remember exactly who it was, and I'll call them out here. Diego, 2+ charge. That is a wrong take. No, the TO sets up the table. If you don't like how the table's set up, you can ask to be moved to another table. If player placed terrain was a thing, it would be in the rules. It's not.
No, it's fair. Because so I used to play a lot of War Machine. In our local game days, we would do player place tables. Like, you go, I go, and we throw down a bunch of terrain. Like everyone was amicable.
Amicable.
Thank you. Towards one another. So we would like, if something didn't look right, we'd be like, hey, let's change this. And we're like, yeah. So it was pretty chill because we were also like a pretty tight knit group. And then on tournament day, whoever was the TO would just make the table. Like I made a table where, let me do it in black. There was a trench running from basically here up here and like this, and that entire trench was one continuous thing. And so if there was a guy in one corner, he could shoot with no penalty to the other guy because they were in the same trench. And that was a tournament table.
Interesting.
There was the other one where it was covered in fire, because fuck my opponents.
I had one of those things once. I played a Little War Machine back in the day.
Yeah, it's fun, but also like we're not at a big tournament, we're at a local thing, and I like to sometimes like put in the weird tables because it's like, here you go, let's have some real fun.
Oh yeah.
But they're also playable.
Yeah, player place terrain was like a big thing in old Warhammer Fantasy Battle and like classically older editions of 40k and AOS even. And when you have terrain that comes with the army, like AOS and 40k sometimes do, that's more understandable. Yeah. But in this game,
no, like, so usually a lot of our tables locally were, they were set up by the Vanguard. You know, people would come in, we'd set the mats, we'd help the Vanguard place the scenario on the table, and the Vanguard would just kind of like drop some terrain. Or the Vanguard would get there early and drop it all off and like make the tables, and then we'd come in and the guy would be done like a couple minutes before we all would show up at the appointed time. So
yeah, ultimately that's not a bad way of doing it for like a casual play day.
Yeah.
You know.
And then at tournaments, like the organizers just make the tables and do everything. And sometimes they ask us to help and we go help them. So yeah. Like
Dude.
I don't know. It's all about like making good tables. So what about this one? Do you think this is a good table?
No.
Okay. Why?
Well, a couple things. There's Garrison on it for one.
Okay, so that dropped a letter grade.
Yeah. The second thing is there's an obscuring piece on a piece of terrain. If it was a hill, wouldn't be a problem because you can move over a hill. You have that entire zone to still occupy and be able to move on it. The third thing is there's that piece of obstructing all the way in the corner. It doesn't matter, so it shouldn't even be there.
Yeah, it's great.
It just shouldn't even be there. The rest of the terrain placement is not bad. Like if you replace that Garrison with, I don't know, a hill, and then you replace the obstructing that's on the zone with another forest, sure, there you go. That's not the worst. I'd even say go so far as maybe shuffle some of the other pieces around and put the one piece of obstructing right in between the two markers.
I don't think you can do that. I think they got to be 9 away from the marker or another piece obstructing.
They can't be on top of markers, if I remember right.
Like
but they can still be.
You put a piece of obstructing like right there.
No. Like in between the two squares.
Yeah.
The bases. Like you would move that forest a little bit. Somewhere.
Oh, okay. Obstruction, not obstructing. No. Obstruction. Okay, obstructing, not obstructing. Sorry, I thought you were talking about putting a building between the two markers.
Yeah, I was talking about putting a building there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. You're a monster.
I am a monster. But that also makes you go around it.
That's fair.
It does create like two halves of the board that you have to play around, but I don't think that's exactly the wrong thing to do. It gives you choices. But overall, the table's not the worst. That one's a D though.
Okay, let me get that D in there.
Boop. You do not want the D.
Not this kind.
This is a bad D.
Not when it's on the table.
Okay. already doing your favorite.
Yep. Now I'm just gonna ignore the Garrison from this point on. Like overall, this is not the worst.
Just subtract that letter and keep it rolling.
Yeah. I do like that most of the terrain is pushed towards the middle because it should be. It should be pushed towards the middle, so you have to interact with it. The terrain is the third player at the table, and it should make you want to fight it because it should be frustrating at times. Or you can use it to your advantage, some sort of weird politics. They could just switch, like the.
I feel like one of these houses should have been on the other side.
Yeah, it should have been on the other side. It should have looked sort of like a weird mirror.
Oh yeah.
You think like you cut the table in half and it should look like a weird mirror from one way or another. That obstructing piece of terrain back there on the zone could be removed. And just sort of like maybe play with some water or something.
we don't drink here.
Yeah, like the 3 hindering is actually I like 3 hindering a lot. It's really useful and it's not too much. When it's a forest, it's just it stops shooting, it stops cavalry, but there's still plenty of other space on the table. And then when you have two big buildings like that, it makes you make choices. This one, it doesn't take a lot of changes to make this one better. I would have to say, honestly. But it's still also a D.
Damn. Oh, poor guy. All right, who else do we? We have a lot of these. We don't find any.
Yeah.
If they're not interesting, we'll skip them. But some of these are.
That's
I think this is just all instructions.
yeah. There's nothing.
You
on
don't
the side.
find a dinosaur skeleton interesting?
Yeah.
This is enough. I really don't need to look at this. This is enough because this is just all.
I'm gonna
I'm
stop.
sorry.
An F for fuck the guy who made this table.
It's like, remember, your terrain is the third player. It has to matter.
Is it mattering? No.
Not really.
So never mind.
Oh fuck! I remember this game. This is the game where I basically got fucking demolished by Dweghome and their guns.
Yep. There you go.
No place to hide. No obstructing to sit in. Yeah, this was really rough. I remember this game being awful.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. All right. What else do I got? This guy. Oh, that's way too many. There we
Yeah,
go.
that's really cool.
Yeah, that was a big zoom.
All right, I made this table.
Okay.
This
You
is
should-
my, this is my
so-
basement.
You can't say it before Kang gives his honest opinion.
No, I want him
I'm
to.
still gonna,
I
I'm
want him
still
to
gonna
tear.
give my honest opinion.
Yeah, I
don't
know
know
he
what
is.
you think to stop me doing. Your terrain is really clustered. It's not the worst. It's a little small,
Oh,
but I
thanks.
understand you're working with a specific. How many pieces do you have?
I'm circling them all. Don't worry.
You have 9. That might be too many, but because you have such small terrain, that's probably fine.
I like how
yeah,
you mentioned the mass has a small one every single time.
Yeah,
This is just old War Machine terrain.
exactly. War Machine is like a different scale.
Yeah,
It uses
it's on a 4x4.
Yeah, it uses a smaller table. It's not as big as
Yeah,
Conquest.
buddy, tell me another one.
Okay, you're gonna pull that one off. This is head to head. There we go.
Yep. The obstructing on the zone, or yeah, it's obstructing. No, wait, no. Now I'm confusing myself with the O word.
Well, there's obstructing and obscuring on that zone.
Yeah,
Doesn't
the
matter.
obstructing
That's
is the rocks. The
Yeah.
rocks need to get thrown away. I'm sorry.
That's such a fucking PB thing, though. Like, they're gonna have obfuscating as a terrain
Yeah.
modifier in addition in the next.
Oh dear.
Like,
I
PB devs. Sorry, I don't mean to keep interrupting you, but
No,
I just want to
keep
say,
going.
PB devs, stop giving everything the same name or almost identical names. I know what it's like. Like, I have the kind of brain where I know what it's like to latch on to a really cool word. Fucking stop it. That's enough.
You're gonna
One and done from now on.
Cass is gonna get the spray bottle and start like, no, Leo, bad.
Exactly. Sorry, anyway. Go ahead.
No, this is perfectly fine. I think a lot of the placement is okay here. Could have been spread out a little more. I think the tower could have been in the middle, like the very middle.
Oh yeah, split the table.
Yeah, split the table a little bit. You still have a whole bunch of space in front and behind it. And you'd still have like something you can hide behind. But you could also spread the rest of the terrain out more, make it matter a bit more for that 12-inch objective. And like that far left forest is really good. I like that placement. Especially with the hill next to it. That was good. This is still a C+.
All right, good job, Mass. That was my letter grade in college.
Hey,
Hey,
D's get degrees, so obviously C's
It's
are
true.
even
Yeah.
one better.
this one I did not make. Here we go.
Oh, that's a classic R store stinker.
This is a classic Vanguard. We got that guy. Hey, we put some water on the table. Kang's
do
getting
see it.
thirsty.
Put a little water on that bitch.
But then we have 4 forests.
Honestly, this is not that bad.
No.
This is actually pretty good. I think that the forest could have been You could have put the water where the forest on top of the objective is.
So like the here.
You could have switched. Yeah, you could have switched those,
Okay.
and it probably would be pretty fine and serviceable. Like, I would have moved the 2 obstructing actually, and put them maybe 12 inches from either side of the table, so
like,
that you still have your little avenue. Yeah,
yeah.
you'd have.
And this
Yeah,
guy ends up like over
move it
here.
there. Yeah, and you would just move like one piece into the middle for the forest. So you have a pretty open board with less shooting and less cavalry charging, but you still have avenues on the side to go around. You know,
Yeah.
it's not that bad, especially when you have the 4 markers that you want to go after. So yeah, I give this one a B
Oh, there we
because
go.
it can get better. It can get better.
There we go.
B for better.
Have we had any A's? I don't think we've had it. No, maybe we did have an A. I forget.
Nope.
Are you writing down
What the hell is that?
Don't worry, that's just me typing in the Zoom at a.
No, like that. What the fuck is that?
I've played on this, by the way.
I believe it.
Yeah.
This is which one is this? Is it grind them down?
Yeah, it has here, I'll get the red. Yeah, there's the 4. Just the 4 little zones. And then we have an obstructing splitting them from each other. And then we have 2 garrisons right in the fucking middle, splitting that. And they're slightly skewed. And then in the area that you could actually go through, you have 2 forests.
See, the forests are fine.
Yeah, everything else is bad.
The 2 obstructing, I would shove them over. I would spread them out a little bit more, like maybe 6 inches or so towards the edges.
Just kind of like bump them that way.
Yeah, that would be fine. But the fucking garrison, what the hell? That is actually a problem because at this point in the rules, if I remember right, you couldn't come within an inch of this stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
So however big that is, add 2 more inches to it, and you've lost that entire deployment edge. Like, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, about that. Yeah, it's great.
That's actually, I really don't like that. I'm mad about that now.
And rightly so.
Yeah, you should be.
No, this is.
Oh, Cass and I played on this. There's Cass's apexes. Yeah.
Yeah, I see it. I see that. I see the horses and I see the dinosaurs, and I'm just.
Yeah.
Why did we torture ourselves?
I think I'm looking at these tables and the ones that we definitely played against each other because I recognize my models are my own freakish body.
You're gorgeous.
Are we just doing this because we trauma bonded over the worst tables in the world?
Yeah, I think we did. I think we're really hammering home the friendship here. We're just trauma bonded. All right, so what?
Like two people had to survive all those tables together, and now it's like that's our connection.
Just because there's 2 of them on here, this is an F. There's 2 of these.
Can you go lower?
A big F you to whoever's playing that table.
Nah, I'll stick with the American grading system. F is the lowest.
Okay, give it a G. Just be like, fuck.
What about an F minus?
Yeah, can we do?
There is no F minus, as far as I fucking know. It might have been after my time.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's just bad. Let's find out the next one. Okay, here we go.
See, I don't inherently hate this one.
Okay.
Not inherently.
But you have issues with it.
Yeah, the only issue I see is the rocks should have been on the other side of the table.
Should have been over
where
here.
that water is.
Oh yeah.
Well, so then just shove the water towards the objective more on where the rocks were. That'd be fine.
It's not. Yeah. No, I get. Yeah. Because it's supposed to be a mirror, right?
Yeah, it's sort of like a mirror. Maybe the forest could have been switched with one of the hills or something. But all things considered, this is not a bad table. It's just a little bit of work. That's all. And this is old
I
Breakout again.
I actually
Good old
take issue
Breakout.
with one element of your critical assessment.
Sure.
So we're talking about the rocks on the table, and if the table terrain setup is supposed to be the third player, then that means the third player is the rock, and the rock
Oh
has a
no.
clause in
No.
his contract that he can't lose. So how can you play against a third player if it's the rocks?
See, you're not playing against the Rock, you're playing against Stone Cold now.
Well, that's even worse. Nobody wants to go up against a Texas rattlesnake. Sorry, I've been recently actually getting kind of back into wrestling a little bit, not like to a huge
okay.
degree, but like it's definitely I've been embracing the nostalgia I had for the Attitude Era of WWE.
It's
It
so
is
good.
one of
The
the
Stone Cold reference right now hitting like crazy.
it is one of the great acting careers of the world. Being a wrestler.
I'm gonna wrestle some people.
It's yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll do a closer with Cassandra where I just have big opinions about professional wrestling because I don't really like watching it, but I love it as an industry and a business.
That's
I'm
fair.
so fascinated by it.
Oh, it's
Is that
Anyway,
supposed to be
it's so much
terrain,
fun.
Matt?
Pardon?
Is that supposed to be terrain?
I
Gummy?
know. I'm just circling stuff. Sometimes I like to just draw. I'm not very good. All right,
well,
would you?
Cassandra got to talking, so I'm just gonna doodle till she's finished.
I have to keep myself occupied. Like my hands get frisky.
That's fair.
Yikes!
What do you rate this table?
A B plus.
All right, good job, me.
Which
doesn't take a lot of
basically
work.
is an A for Mr. Stingy over here.
At this point, there's gotta be an A in one of these.
Functional A.
I'm sure there will be.
Oh, don't worry. Well, probably when we get to the Adepticon tables.
Oh, this is an A.
Oh, okay. There we go. So this is melee.
This is the good table. I
Why
think
is that?
maybe the water.
Talk us
Actually,
through it.
is that 4 waters?
Those are for sure water. These might be brokens, but they also might be water. I'm not exact. I don't remember.
Okay, this is the B plus then.
If it's water, or if it's broken.
No, I was thinking that those might have been like forests, like the 4 forests, maybe 3 forests in the middle there.
I knew
waters-
it, man. That A was a decoy. You're screwing with us.
Yeah.
The waters could be a little closer so they actually matter when you fight on the zones. That would be interesting. But it's like an A, a B plus. It's in there. This is not a bad table. This is a table I wouldn't mind playing on.
This would.
Especially with
If you
all-
saw this at a tournament, you'd be happy. If you saw this at casual game day, you'd also be happy.
Yeah, I'd be fine.
I'm
playing
sorry,
on
a B plus or an A, as far as I'm concerned, is still a B plus. Like the only thing
There
that
we
is
go.
an A to me now is an emphatic A.
We still got to get to the S tier table. There's got to be one.
I don't think
It's
there
the
will
wall.
be. There's always something wrong with the table.
Oh, you're like my electronics teacher in high school. He's like, no one's perfect.
It's fundamentally.
Nobody in my life ever told me that.
I feel like this is the same fucking table.
This is
Did our
the-
Vanguard just get into like a big tower in middle? Like,
Oh, he loved that shit.
yeah,
I mean, big tower in the middle is very good. It gives you a central point to go off of.
oh,
very
you know
simple.
what? These are obstructions.
No, no.
Yeah, that's it.
dot
It was
point
5
to that.
pieces,
And there's 5 pieces. That's actually really bad. That's a D. You got to have more than 5.
but less than 9.
Yeah. They even say 6 to 8 is like perfect.
Yeah.
6 to 8 is the most between
This-
9 and 5 you could possibly be.
I think 7 is actually like a really good number, but I prefer 8 because I want more terrain on my tables.
I just want
But I
people to
know-
suffer.
Exactly. Suffrage.
This table is so open.
It really is. It is really open. Those 2 forests got to be doing a lot of work for some armies.
They are, and I'll tell you this: I don't think they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is 100K versus city states.
Some armies just know how to rock a bush.
And that was like before city states got buffed. Like this is years ago at this point. What the
Okay.
fuck was happening here?
I see the idea here. It's not the worst. This is something that I might actually put on the table. Maybe not the exact same thing.
And then
Those
water.
big
I
zones,
don't-
those are the zones, right? Yeah, those are the zones.
I don't like it when you empathize with the bad table maker.
Those are the zones here. I can.
I don't want you to find any communion with any of his tables.
I think that
No, it's fine. That's why we're getting them ranked.
the bottom, the left zone, the bottom left zone
Yes.
is a little bare. There's nothing there for it except for that.
This guy.
Yeah, that one. There's nothing really there, so I think it's kind of sad.
Hold on.
Maybe if you had that forest or the water closer, it'd be okay.
Like what
The one above it.
This guy,
Yeah.
like that way.
Yeah, a little bit closer there. Maybe not touching the obstruct the.
You can wiggle it in.
Yeah. I do a lot of like towing terrain onto zones, but not covering them, just to create weird shapes and different weird approaches for things. And this doesn't seem to be done here. They're just kind of slapped out in the empty spaces.
Yeah.
So, a C plus. There could be some work done with this. Like you can move some stuff just a little bit more here and there. I don't like how it all looks really hard. Like it's kind of hard to gauge some of that.
Yeah, because it's snow terrain on snow map. It's so
Yeah, you got to have a little bit of
contrast. That's why you gave it the C, right?
A little bit. A little, yeah, for sure.
If it's all winter, then there's no way to know what's going on.
Oh, there we go.
That's why they say I'm the best to ever do it.
Taking psychic damage.
Oh man, that's a tall tower.
Oh yeah, I think it was taller, but then we had to cut it down because it was starting to tip onto people. So anyway, big ass
tower shit. Whatever. Fine. Just don't get me started about the tower.
Oh,
The
my.
towers are life. What else we got here? I think this is. Oh my god, it's so
You got
small.
4 little forests, 2 hills, 2 water, and the 1 big obstructing. See, this would have been prime tower in the middle.
I think this is Maelstrom. Yeah, this is Maelstrom, or the one with the 3 in the middle.
Yeah. I don't think this is a bad table.
I
It's
don't
just
think
a
so
little-
either.
Yeah. I think this is ideally maybe an A minus.
Oh,
Oh wow.
oh.
I think
Why?
I would still change some things, but I wouldn't be mad playing on it. And because it's melee, it's a really simple,
It's not I think it's Maelstrom. Or...
Maelstrom. I mean, it's
Yeah.
still a really simple scenario to play. You just walk onto the zones, you fight over them. The water on the outside zones makes you care about them a lot, especially turns, was it 4 through 8?
Yeah.
So you want to push off of the water and like control the zone away from the water. I think that's fine. The hills are interesting. They give you some coverage over the zones that have the water on them. So if they get close to you, you get to shoot them in effective range a lot of the time. If they charge you, they have to charge off of the zone. I think that's fine.
Good job. We found an A. It only took us 17.
That's not bad.
No, it isn't bad. All right. So now we're going to
I feel like
first tournament in Saskatoon.
if that was a
Alert
class
is
of
really
students
broken.
and that you had to go through 16 to get the first A, you'd think that class is probably not doing very well.
So I've put 3 dashes because they use those clear zones just so you can see them better.
Yeah, I've got some of the Gray Matter Gaming clear zones, and I really like them. I did not take the film off so I could actually see them.
Yeah, that is. You need to see them. It's so rough.
Yeah.
I think
gotta
that's
see
it.
'em.
I think I don't. No, that's part of the table. I think that's
I
it.
don't.
So
Yeah.
there's a paved asphalt in the Conquest universe canonically, so that I really take issue with that.
Hey,
We're in
broken.
Caspia. They learned how to do concrete.
Where are the craters from?
It's Caspia. It's from the fall.
Oh my
Or
gosh.
Capitus, or whatever that's...
Yeah, Capitus.
Yeah. What
I
the...
don't really have to say much for this. This is old bulwark. So
Yeah.
this is already a mess.
Oh, you know what? It's supposed to be here. I can't
Yeah,
even, I can't even see it.
The two little rocks just in the way over there is really frustrating. I don't think you can even get two stands through there.
Hold on. Let me go find... Is it turn 3? Okay, so that's where they were going.
Yeah, you can't even fit two stands. That's kind of...
How do I... Oh, there we go. There we
That
go.
is a... It's an unfortunate table. It's very bare. If I remember right, this is like their first event, so this is
This
kind of
is from 230819, so last year at some point. Or almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Year and a
like
half
your
ago?
first tournament. This is your first tournament report on your channel, if I remember right.
No, this is my second tournament report on the channel.
Oh, that's right. This is your first
We've been
travel.
doing this for
Yeah,
too
it's
long.
first travel.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll get to second travel.
Yeah, this is not great. I call this an F.
That's fair. What the?
I don't see. I can't be as rude about tables that aren't from my store
I don't know why it's doing that.
because I don't have a grudge against these people, and I mean them no ill will.
No, they're fine.
Which infer from that what you will
All right.
about who I. Oh, damn! You gotta get a computer that can handle Paint 3D, my man.
This is my computer playing like Armor Core, recording shit. All like Paint 3D is obviously the one that fucking kills me. I played on the same map for 3 games in a row. I didn't move.
Oh yeah, I remember that shit.
I was like, you know what? I'm not moving.
Yeah, this is the same terrain, just moved slightly. This is still an F.
Whoa! We got some better forests this time.
They're still the same position.
We're playing on Maelstrom too.
This is the same position, Mass. The only thing that's different is that little rock got moved towards the table edge.
Yeah, but no, they're different. Look, here, hold on. Let me go back.
I don't care what kind of terrain it is.
Look,
It's
see,
the
it's
same
different. the trees have changed. Oh,
No, it's still an F.
okay.
My condolences, but it is still an F.
Okay, well, we're doing strong here. Let's go to round 3. But look, now I'm
This
on the
is the
other
same-
side of the table. Do we need to talk about this?
No, this is the same table, same terrain, same setup.
So F.
Yep, this is an F.
Okay, sorry guys. Sorry, Sassy.
Maybe if we do the same table enough times, you'll come around on it.
Yeah, maybe we just like give him the definition. Here it is. You got to start rushing. Cass, get in there.
Oh, the wall.
The
Hold
wall,
on.
go.
Fuck.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on my controller. Okay. So now I'm speed running the wall while we talk about the wall.
Why is it like crashing on me?
I'm having a dog fight over here with another dog, so
Okay, there we go. I
Oh,
figured
wow.
out why I was doing that.
okay.
So should I get the black marker out? Because it only gets better.
No, no.
Hold
I'm
on.
gonna say this.
Hold on. It gets better. Hold on. I'm gonna show you why this even gets better.
Oh no.
Oh, hold on. I think that might have been too. I forget if that thing was anything, but like, yeah, there you go. Here's the wall.
So
This is the pinnacle of a casual game.
I wouldn't even call it that, but unironically, I actually love this map.
Do you know that this was playing on Forlorn Hope, where you can't? Here, I'll do it in orange. You can't side deploy at all.
Yeah.
What's even
Unironically,
better?
I love this map because I can see the potential for it as a narrative scenario, but I would be so pissed if I went to a tournament and someone set this up. I would ask for my money back.
Be like, can I get a refund? Okay.
Like, you're gonna make me play on this? Now, if the skeleton, the little house, and the little thing off to the side were just gone, I still would be mad because the wall is there, and that's so much space. That leaves you with like what? Maybe a 12-inch, maybe 14-inch wide.
You're fighting
space
over like
and-
that. It...
Yeah. This is maybe the one time I'll say garrisonable is fine, and it would be for that middle piece.
So you could go actually do something? What
So
the
you can
best
get
part
past it
is,
somehow.
there's an objective marker like on the other side of the thing, so you have to like
Oh my god.
somehow, I don't know, I'll do it in like this brown color. You have to like hit it here or like run around it here. It's just bad.
This is definitely a table that makes you think, but I would fucking break my head.
Yeah, it makes you think, fuck this.
Yeah. Here.
Yeah.
It's,
This is not a good table. It looks like it would be a fun scenario table
there you
for a
go.
very specific scenario that you made for this table. God, that's a mess.
Oh, it was fucking atrocious. Hold on. Where is it? I think it might have been turn 4. There's the abomination. So the abomination side deployed because where you could see the orange, I'll just do it in like red or black. There was
Where
enough
the cups
space in the
are.
2 feet to like get a side deploy out with the
Where those
abomination.
fucking cups are.
Yeah. So it could get out and be relevant to keep this monstrosity going.
That's I'm gonna tangent off of this for a second. Those fucking cups actually trigger me so fucking hard right now. They're on the fucking table. They're on the mat. They're on the terrain. They need to get their fucking stupid circular asses off of it right now.
We don't put cups on the mats. That's
You don't put cups on my fucking play space. But yeah, no. What if you knock it over onto somebody's models?
like that's
Barring the
Well, -1 clash.
yeah, it's water.
yeah, -1 clash my fist in your ass.
Oh my god.
I mean, at least buy me a drink first.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, you spilled it. Oh no, but
Like
no, I don't think I can rate this table like legitimately because this is aberrant. This is outside of the norm. This is not something you would casually want to play on. This is like a specific scenario that you make for this sort of table.
this was
And I can see that that was not done.
no, it was done on casual game day. I walked up and saw this thing and I'm like, yeah, this shouldn't be so bad. I was an idiot. I was 100% an idiot.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fail it,
Really?
but I'm not gonna
That's
give it a
crazy.
grade. I'm not gonna give it a grade.
You're not
No,
gonna grade it.
you have to give it a grade, even if
Yeah.
it's not a standard letter.
All right,
This is
I'll
the
give it
S
a
tier.
triple. I'll give it a triple S. Yes.
The triple S? Okay.
No, it's
It's like
a bad table to play on. You never play it at a tournament. But I could see a lot of scenarios where you'd like want to have fun with it. But you got to be in that mindset. You are fucking that up real bad, my man.
Well, that is bad. Yeah, well, I'm fucking using. Boom.
Did you make? What is that?
It's yes.
Oh, I wish I could see it.
I'll screen cap it for you and send it to you.
I appreciate that.
Should that be the thumbnail?
Yeah. Sight unseen, it definitely should be. I have the Juggernaut at 50% HP here, just to give you an update.
Okay.
So, I thought everybody was going to be more mad and talk about it more, but I guess not.
Well,
so
the
it
issue
looks like
is that I've lived it. Kang has seen this thing on and off for the past however long I've played on this thing, and it's
We
been
blew it.
talked
We
about
took
to
out the
death.
wow factor.
Like we already know the
Like-
issues with it. You can't fucking fight it. You're like
You can't fight. You can fight
Can't
on
fight
it.
City Hall.
You're going to be fighting. You're going to be fighting the ability to fight on the fucking fight table.
this is 100% like some old world player or Warhammer Fantasy player was like, oh, we just like brick up, and I have your brick and we have my brick, and we just slam our bricks into each other because that's how the game is played, and that's it. And it's like there is so much more going on in this game than just hot brick on brick action. And it's like,
oh my god, I can't say anything I want to say right now.
It's all these bricked up bricks.
yeah,
Yeah,
all these bricked up people just slamming into
Let me
one
at
another.
him. Let me at him. Tell me where that's happening.
It's happening on the wall, bitches.
I want to meet those girls.
Oh my god.
Like I see the potential that it could have been.
But it's
I
just this, and then you can't interact with anything else. Like you're having a grind
Yeah.
fest.
It's essentially all it is. You're slamming one regiment into one another, one at a time,
Juggernaut
over and
kill.
over.
Good
Just
job.
for the record,
Well done.
I got it before we finished talking about the map. So
Yep. It's a meat grinder. That's all it is. There's 2 holes for you to go into with your regiments.
I know who else has 2 holes.
And that's all there is. There's nothing else. There's no flamboyance.
Would you fuck this
special.
table?
God no. This is ugly.
There's Kang getting the paper bag out for the wall. It's like we're just gonna put this on.
it's the
Oh,
green
God.
colored tablecloth over the wall, so it doesn't seem like it's an empty map.
Okay,
Oh, my
okay.
God.
Is it aesthetically pleasing?
I do like how it looks. My
Especially
issue with the aesthetic is that one side is not
how about that?
entirely cobblestone and village, and the other side is an all forest. But you can't do that
Mhm.
because that would be too much. But I do like how it looks. I like the idea it's going for.
Like turn 5 looks like oh, there's a fight going on and everything.
It looks cool, but it's a mess.
It's a hot
That's
mess.
Ah,
The wall.
yeah.
Glory
Wow,
be
that-
its name.
That S did not quite turn out.
You saw
You saw the aftermath. I saw it in process. Just like, how do I fucking draw this again?
I like how the S has a fat ass and a distended stomach.
Oh my god.
So good. Okay. Oh yeah, I was about to get to blind people with the color of yellow.
That is very bright. Holy shit.
Yeah. You know what? Let me just get the. Oh, that is not. We need something bigger. Oh, okay. The thickness range. Yeah.
It's out of range, buddy.
Just mute that a little so it doesn't blind people. There we go.
That is actually
Wow.
quite effective. And
Yeah,
how that's
there we
being
go.
done.
Okay, there we go.
Alright.
There we go. Okay, stuff. Tree,
Yeah. See the trees. You got
building,
two.
wada, more trees. I think. Am I doing this weird yellow? I think this is like broken or something.
That was broken.
Broken or like.
And that was a hill, I assume.
Yeah, that was a hill. No, that's the. Sorry, that's the wrong color. There's the hill color. There we go. Yeah. Coming
I
off
don't
of the
know if I
wall.
Like, this is probably infinitely better to play on than the wall.
Yeah.
But that objective on the left still seems really naked. The water seems really close to that middle forest. Like, you could spice it up a bit and move stuff around some. I like the forest on the bottom right objective.
Mhm.
That's good. The tower's out in the middle of fucking nowhere. But, you know, it's not bad overall. It could use a little work, but it's okay. I wouldn't be too bothered to play on this. I think the broken probably could be more centrally located too, but it really depends on how the game progresses, I suppose. There's reasons to go across it, to go for the other objectives, and to go around, I guess. And I see that's Cass's Wadroon, right?
Yeah, this is a basement game.
Okay. So yeah, that Dangerous is not good for all that army from what I'm looking at. That's all Thunder Riders and yeah, so.
No, that was a really bad game because
Was
that
it?
was the one where you were just running all Merc crossbows.
Was it the
Ugh.
one?
I'm pretty sure.
I see some cavalry there.
There's some cav. No, we never. We only got to turn 3 of them across one, and then I re-racked an actual list, or then we re-racked. So that game
I
never
don't think
got
we played
shown.
a second game.
No, we played 2 games because the first game was done like immediately, basically.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, this is a solid B, I guess. It just needs a little bit of work to be better.
Be better. Be positive. Wish I could do that Bloods thing. Oh, back at the store. Oh yeah, here we go, baby.
That's entirely too many stands.
Oh, this is the line. Yeah, this is 100% the gun line list. And then we have 3 obstructions, and then I'm pretty sure these were all just forests, and we were just being lazy.
See, this is pretty close to something I might actually put on the table. Get rid of that last obstruction and put like a hill or something there, or throw a couple extra hills because there'd only be 6 pieces of terrain at that point. I think you have something serviceable. Maybe throw like a little bit of terrain on that left objective zone.
Just like move the forest over?
Yeah. We could do that, no problem. Because those 2 obstructing pieces, you still have 2 lanes to go around, and you still have a straight lane there. So that gives you something to fight over there, and then you have the rest of the table to affect it or address it. Yeah. So I don't think this is bad either. I would give this probably a C+, because you got to get rid of a piece of terrain to replace it.
Okay. Yeah, it wasn't bad to play on, to be honest. I remember this game because of
I mean, you were
the
playing
line.
the fucking rain at this point.
Yeah, just all guns. What else we got here? Oh, okay.
All right. The fucking houses. See, if the houses were different, it would probably be okay. But this is too much obstructing.
I lost this game. And I lost it because I was running big bricks, and I got myself stuck on my own toes, and the Merc crossbows got stuck in front, and I couldn't really interact with the zone at all because there's fucking it's super hard to get in here.
Yeah, that's one of the risks of having that much obscuring. Yeah, it's obscuring.
Yeah, there we go.
If you just get rid of the big houses and just replace them with forests or even broken anything else, probably even a hill, it probably makes the table infinitely better.
So you're saying we should be using more hills?
Yeah, I think hills are great because they block line of sight, but you can still interact with them and get on top of them.
Yeah. Do you throw hills in the middle a lot? So
sometimes
you can block line of sight, but also you can climb over them.
Yeah. There's one time I think it was on Maelstrom that I put 2 hills like almost directly across from each other next to the middle objective.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I think that's something you definitely can do. Some people may not like it, but they'll be fine. It's one game.
What do you give this sucker?
Because there's 4 pieces on it, I'll give it a D. 4 pieces of obstructing, but it can be easily changed to be better. I think that's like That's something you say for a lot of these. Very easily can be made better.
Yeah,
by just
there was-
replacing a building.
I'm not gonna lie. We hit a point where we would get something like this, and then we would just change it ourselves.
Yeah,
Because I think we were collectively just getting tired.
yeah. I would not blame anyone for doing that.
Oh, look at this bad boy. I want you to soak this one in.
They call
is
it
really-
the stinker.
This is really frustrating to look at.
Why? Why is it really frustrating to look at? Is it because it's a fucking barren wasteland and also terrible at the same time?
It's like looking at the wall, but just at a different angle.
Oh, you're right. It is basically the wall, except it went vertically instead of horizontally.
Yeah, that's all it really is. Like I don't mind the hill placement. That's fine. Because you can't see anyone sitting on an objective behind the hills, so you're forced to go towards them. Sure. But the three in the middle are just non-interactable. You're just going to be forced to either deploy on one side of the table,
Or the other.
and yeah, that's it. And you will have no choice to go across or interact with the other side at all, really.
It's like playing one of those split maps where it's like you gotta really pick how you're gonna force allocate.
Yeah, that's definitely what it is.
How did this game end?
How did
Oh, there we
somebody
go.
arrive in that place and think, I'm going to build a house right here?
I don't. You know what? By the look of that house, that's more of like a mail deposit or like a patrol depot because it has like this weird second story and a sign.
Yeah, it's a government building.
Yeah, and this is totally like the border. Like, to be honest, that'd be a great place for a border guard.
Sure. Yeah. I can see that.
I prefer my headcanon of why there's a little house there, to be honest.
Okay, why is there
I'm not gonna fight you guys over it. Well, I just think somebody saw that somebody was adventuring in the wild, unspoiled world and saw these two rocks and these two hills and this forest in this exact position and thought,
I like this defensible position for my house.
yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna build a wall here.
The wall lover.
Let's see it.
God damn it. What do you rate this table?
Because it's the wall, essentially.
Rated W. Rated W for wall.
No, like, because yeah, go ahead. Just make it a W. This is the wall again, so yeah, go ahead.
Is that what we're doing now? If we find another wall, we just got rated W. Rated E for everyone.
Honestly, I think calling out the wall when it manifests itself on people's tables is actually probably really like something that's worth calling out.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine. Wall it is.
Wall. Perfect.
What I like is that you did a dotted line like those graphics online to demonstrate that men are unmasculine.
Wait, what?
Where it's like there's this green dotted line to show that they're not standing up straight, which means that they're not
like
dominant enough.
Like
and they're like
or whatever, and then it's like
no, it's exactly like you. Yeah, actually, that's the green line part is spot on. I don't remember the curves at all, but because usually it's just showing it at an angle or whatever.
Well, that's them not
anyway,
standing up straight because they're slouching their shoulders, like there's their arms.
Oh, I see. That's a figure of a person. Yeah.
There's their hand. Hold on, let me get another digit in there. There we go.
And so I remember somebody posted one of those. I can't remember if it was an ironic one or an unironic one at this point because I live in the internet hell world. But they commented "green lines don't lie" about it, which is funny. It's a funny line. Anyway, that's now. I think if we identify the wall, you also have to draw it with the dotted line to show that it's a weak table.
Oh my god!
Like when I got the black line going on here, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Exactly. Black lines don't lie.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see our next version of the wall because I can already tell by the image.
Hey! Well, this is not as bad.
It's not as bad because
No. But this is
Partial
still
wall.
like this is a mostly okay table. They just need to move those obstructions away from the table edge. Just away from the table edge.
just anywhere
I actually
else.
don't. Yeah, I honestly don't care where they get put because this table otherwise is built pretty well.
Yeah. I believe this is a Cass and mine game, and I think this is where Cass shot her cock at me.
Yep, I believe it.
Yep, there it is. As you can see, my stuff is on that end, on my end of the table, and Cass's cock is right down my throat.
Yep.
Let's see
Now
what
where it
happened in turn
belongs.
4. And Cass's cock is gone.
Oh no.
You know, it's a little bit of art imitates life in a way.
Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh.
god.
Well, this is a C just because of the obstructing. If they were moved, it would immediately go up to a B, maybe an A. Maybe an A if they were somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, like, you know what? This was a pretty good table to play on. There's a lot of stuff happening, like, around these zones to influence the zone with the terrain. I do like.
Exactly. Yeah, it's exactly what it is about. The influence of the terrain on the zone. It's not covering it. It's making you think about it. And of course, when the cock just rams itself right down through the terrain, no, it doesn't matter that much, though.
No. You gotta, hey, sometimes you just gotta see how far your cock can really go. And Cass found out that it was like 23 inches.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, sometimes it can go
A
really
lot of
far.
people have found out about the 23 inches.
Alright, here you go.
I'm going to say that's obstructing. I'm ignoring the fact that it's Garrison.
Oh, don't worry. I'm gonna help you here.
You can't
Wait
ignore
a
the
second.
G hole.
Oh no! Oh no!
Okay, you were saying? You want to ignore that
God.
Garrison, or do you want to keep it as Garrison now?
God, I hate all of this, actually.
Why? Why do you hate it, Kang?
There's too many obstructing pieces on there, or obscure... Whatever the fuck the one is where you can't go on top of it. I hate Garrison. It really doesn't need to be there at all. I think that's incorrectly measured, actually, now that I look at it. Either that or it's a really big piece of terrain.
Which one? The Garrison?
The Garrison.
Oh, probably. It's just 4 wall, like palisade wall cardboard terrain pieces just slapped together to make a cube.
Okay.
I think. Do we actually use it? Hold on. Oop. Nope. Well, it was dead. Oh, turn 3. Nope. Someone did go in on turn 4. Good job.
God. Poor soul.
Yeah.
But like the outside of the table is really bare, but also
The
on
obstructions.
this mission, the outside tends to be like your maneuvering space. So when the obstructions are there, it really is that like another piece of obstructing next to that one in the bottom right?
Oh, like here? I think that was just flavor. Like those are just flavors.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we just said that was flavor because it was going to get really insane really quickly if that was
Yeah.
actual obstruction. But you only have 2 lanes.
You literally have 2 lanes. With the Garrison there being, I guess they used it as a possible additional maneuvering point.
Hold on. Is this just the wall?
No, it's not the wall. It's a mess, but it's not the wall.
Oh.
I don't really like this. This is definitely a D minus.
Wow.
Actually,
Yeah.
no, this is an F.
All right, there we
Play
go.
on. I wouldn't want to play on this at all.
Is this go get your money back?
No, it's not go get your money back. I'm a masochist, but not this kind. No, Jesus Christ.
Oh, hey, we got another tournament. This is the one in Calgary. Here we go. These. Hold on. What was my broken color? I can forget what my broken ground color was. Maybe it was orange.
I'm pretty sure just from looking at this, those objective zones are not properly measured.
What, like the circles, like for melee?
Yeah, they don't look like they're properly measured to me. Either that or the terrain's just fucking with my perspective.
It might be. I forget. We did have one problem on this on round 3 where someone just threw the terrain roughly where it's supposed to be, and then I looked at it while we were trying to count up score, and I was like, these aren't even the right place. So we got 4 houses, and I'm pretty sure this is broken. I don't remember what color I used, so I'm just gonna go with purple. You take damage when you like charge or march. Yeah, I think it was when you charge through it. There you go.
Broken palisades are okay, but like the 4 little huts, that's too many. It's just too many. I don't know what everyone's obsession with putting houses on tables to make it harder to actually move around on the table is. Like, not fun harder either, just harder as a pain problem. You just need 2. That's it.
Only 2 people live here.
Yeah, exactly. Only 2. Well, no.
This must be set in the past because who can afford that these days?
Yeah, like those houses didn't have 2 people in them. Those houses had like 13 each. Okay,
yeah.
Let's remember that.
And they're all lumberjacks.
Yeah, villages were spread out over miles.
It's like
and they were one house every so often.
They only had 13 people in them. It's like, oh, do you want to go see? It's like, oh, it's Sunday. Better go walk 30 kilometers to go to the church. What's just all by itself. Or actually before.
So many kids those days because some of them just didn't make the round trip.
Yeah.
And back.
Who are you talking about? It was a snack on the way home.
Like you had mom, dad, the 4 grandparents if they were all alive.
They were dead.
Probably the brother and his wife. Then you had the 10 children.
Yeah, you had the 4 older kids that you really put the effort into and that you wanted them to succeed, and then you have 6 more that is just for probability cheating purposes.
I knew this was like your 3rd or 4th wife at this point.
It's just like if your kids are probably going to die, you want to have 6, just who cares is in the mix, so that way hopefully God takes those ones. And, you're left with the ones that you wanted.
Oh dear.
Oh my god. Alright, so what are you thinking for this table?
This is the D because there's too much obstructing.
Give her the D.
Like, it can very easily be rectified, as we've said before.
Yeah.
It'd be better.
Just move this shiz around. I remember one of these tables being truly a glorious godsend on it, and we will get to it, but I think it was round 3. Okay. Here we go.
Look, hills. Actual hills.
Yeah. What was my hill color? I think it was this purple.
Purple.
I think this was like broken.
This can't be measured correctly either. Holy shit.
I forget what these weird cubes were, to be honest. I don't remember. I don't think they were obstructions.
Really?
It might have just been more broken. I feel like this table is just covered in broken for some reason. Oh, and then we have water.
You know, the big river is it's a choice, and like it's a choice that sometimes I've wanted to make. And it's a choice that I've gotten to play on once.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It was quite fun for me. It wasn't fun for the other guy. He was playing OD.
Do I have? Hold on, let me.
I mean, you know what that river looks like to me.
Yeah, there we go. Like there's my opponent deployed in the river. And there's them fighting in the river about to be sidecharged by Crimson Towers.
That's not a time when you want to be in the river.
No. Yeah.
Like those zones are not correctly measured. They can't be.
Like what? Like they should be closer? I forget. Forget if this is old scenario packet or new
specifically the packet. One you have your marker close to looks like it's really fucking lopsided. Like it's further out and closer. Yeah, like that one specifically looks like it's way out of place.
Like it should be more here.
Oh,
It should be a lot of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Rate this one, and
Yeah,
then we'll
but-
go to round 3 because there's. I remember round 3 vividly.
That's a stinker.
this one is. I wouldn't want to play on it. I'll call it a D plus because it doesn't have 4 fucking obstructing on it.
Okay. Get ready for round 3.
Oh boy.
All right, and I will tell you, we realized around turn 2 or 3 that all these zones were in the wrong spot and hadn't been properly set up, so we had to reset it up.
Wow.
Yeah, and so if we go to turn 2, yeah, there we go, turn 2.
Okay. With it properly set up.
And I
What
think we
are
moved
these
some of the. I think we kind of tried to keep the terrain roughly where it was before, but get ready.
Oh, is this another?
Get ready. You watching?
Yeah, I'm watching. No, this is an F. Even on declined flank, I don't want to play on nothing but obstructing.
The 100K
boring.
versus 100K matchup.
There's nothing interesting happening.
No, it was brutal because there was like times where I wanted to get more stuff in and I couldn't because I was just getting blocked by obstructions.
Yeah, no, I don't. I really like that terrain. I have a set of that terrain,
Oh, it's great terrain.
but using it for a rank and flank game is just so hard
Yeah,
because you want to make it obscuring because it's all over the place. So that's unfortunate. And then you have that giant where you put the F is a gigantic empty space.
I know. And I remember this game, I fought basically like right there. That's where I fought this entire game out. I didn't even get into the empty space.
Yep. Man. Like, not to knock other people's terrain setups or everything, but gosh, some of this is making me like.
Are you rethinking your life right now?
I'm really depressed about how other people play. I'm not even depressed.
Welcome
like
to
how Carl
BonkTable,
is.
the podcast that gives you depression.
I'm not even depressed like how Carl is when he's like, people aren't optimizing. I'm just depressed about how people play on other tables.
Don't worry, we have so many more to go over.
Oh.
You don't?
The Adepticon ones are going to be the best.
Is that where we're gonna get the that S? Or no, we already did it, but that was the
Well,
wall.
we did and we didn't.
God, this is.
Hold on, we got that garrison trade right up the side of the table.
Yeah, no, they.
Swinging that G-hole side to side.
Those things are massive, actually. Holy shit. Those
Yeah, they're big.
Well, it's because you are usually able to throw 4 into the G-hole, so... Gotta be pretty big to accommodate that.
You know what?
True.
Like as Kang slowly gets more and more depressed, like this might be the first the first episode where the guest just is like, please end. Please let me go.
Yeah, like, so you don't have to do this. Like, you're free to leave at any time.
Yeah.
So if this is ever too much for you, don't feel like
Oh, no,
you're
it's fine.
trapped.
You are trapped.
You know,
You're
you can
with us.
always... Listen, you can always revoke consent.
We can
That's
always
true.
ban you from the BonkTable Discord so you don't have to suffer anymore.
I'll manually unban you. I won't force you to subject yourself to this.
Oh, no. I'm having a good time.
Which is
I'm
a
like,
weird reversal of abusing my mod powers.
I'm trying to play Okami over here while looking at this, and I'm looking at trash on one screen and looking at something beautiful on the other.
Is that what you need to do to like help your mental health right now?
Pretty much. Oh,
Uh,
but this is bad. There's only 6 pieces here, which is the minimum in my opinion. But you have 2 garrisons, so that's just 2 strikes right there, baby.
drop
So,
two.
yeah, this is an F.
Oh, poor
I don't
guy.
like the placement for the garrisons at all either.
No, they're terrible.
If Garrison wasn't a trash terrain type, it'd probably be okay. You know, if it was something interesting, like it allowed you to deploy inside of it, but you had to deploy like at the beginning of the game, and your opponent knew where they were going to be, or some shit like that. You know, something like that. I don't know. Fuck it. Something
No,
weird.
instead you get the
Oh,
G.
is this the first game with Skillin? I think this is the first game with Skillin.
I
Hold
reckon
on.
those tight pants.
Hey, we should do.
Yes, it is the first
an
game with
episode-
Skillin because there's my Merc crossbow side charging his marksman clones, and he did not like that.
What'd
We
you
should
say,
do-
Cass?
An episode called "Chillin' with Skillin."
We
Yeah.
could. He would love to come back on, and we can totally have him on probably every time.
I feel
Yeah.
like he's the secret third member of the BonkTable crew sometimes.
Do you, Cass? Are we going to start harassing Skillin to join us for podcasts?
I mean, I'm not averse to it. I guess this is maybe a conversation we should have in private, but
No, we're doing it live. Here, I'll message
yeah,
him.
I mean,
Okay,
I don't. I'm not a
Kang, you're just in this now as we talk business.
live
fair.
getting rejected by Skillin.
Yeah.
Man plays with swords. He knows how to give some rejection. He'll parry your ass.
Man, it's not every day I get a good parry from Elden Ring.
I would simply repost it.
This is after you get the parry. Okay, I sent him. This is my message. Yo, you want to be the third host on BonkTable? We'll see if he replies.
I mean, I always felt like he was kind of, because he started doing Vanguard stuff, that he was like the silent partner, you know, like he was like the third guy.
Dude, he's been helping our local community a ton.
That's great to hear. I'm really glad that he got it. He was able to do that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you guys kind of needed some help here and there from what I was hearing.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, from what
You've
you're
seen
seeing,
the table.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing now, yes, very much so.
I lit this stuff. Okay, first game into Skillin. I think he was playing for like a month or two before this game, and he was not prepared for what I did to him. But rank the table.
No. There's 4 pieces of terrain that I think are okay right now.
Okay, which one are
No,
they?
wait,
I'll get
no, I
the
want you
red
to
one.
guess. You are correct.
Yeah, what's my prize?
And like the garrison could just be an obstructing piece, and that'd be fine.
Let's get
In
the
my
blackout. Just
That could just be an obstructing piece. And the other 2 pieces could be any number of other things affecting that zone on the right.
they could
That
just
could
be
pretty much
closer.
they'd be closer in something else. I
Yeah,
wouldn't make
not
that.
what they currently are, but I get
Yeah.
you.
But like because there's just
There's
this
a
is
hill
the
now.
sea.
Okay.
Yeah, hills are great. Hills are wonderful. I love them.
More hills. You heard it,
Exactly.
everybody. Kang loves hills.
2 hills minimum. You gotta have a valley in between them. Okay. I love valleys.
It's just where you get to nestle yourself into every morning.
Exactly.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I think this. What was my color for broken? I think it was this one. I think these are broken. I'm just going off the top of my head because, like,
Okay.
so this just occurred to me while we were looking at the last table, but you playing a commie while you look at these tables is kind of like that TikTok video of the woman smelling a chocolate bar while she eats broccoli.
what the fuck?
That's all.
Oh my gosh.
What
Oh.
the?
This table overall is not bad. The obstructions just need to be moved off of the zones, and it's probably fine.
So-
I'd say this is
After, as you can see, the development of our Vanguard putting down the terrain, I think he got into a bit of a string of putting obstructions very, very closer onto zones.
The tight middle.
Yeah, as we'd like to dub it. So
Yeah.
get prepared for a couple of these coming up.
okay. I think I'll just preface that by saying move the obstructions away from the zones just a little bit for the rest of the because I don't think this table setup's bad.
No.
It does. It seems fairly good. This would be a B plus or an A once those are moved. So there you go.
That's what
This
we're
is
calling
pretty
it.
good. On
B or
Yeah.
a C?
we'll call it B plus.
B plus. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. This might just be a video. I don't even know if it'll be a podcast, just because it's like you have to visualize all this.
You kind of do a little bit.
Yeah. We
No,
tried
no,
to.
no. Do the audio only version of this.
Just for the jokes?
Oh, this is interesting.
What the fuck is my shiz? There we go. This was almost a wall. Oh yeah,
pretty
I remember
close.
this. Is this
Is
Cass?
that a turd?
It looks like a turd. I'm not gonna lie. It very much does look like a turd. Not that color. This color. And then
partial
we're
spotter.
ready. Got these suckers.
I'm not completely opposed to this table setup. The water in between the two smaller zones is funny.
It fits perfect.
Yeah, it fits perfectly. And like with this specific scenario, you're going to be wanting to jump between those two zones anyway to get maximum scoring. So taking that risk and being in water is probably an interesting dynamic. I think that's fine. The obstructions can just be moved though. To be interesting.
Just anywhere else.
Yeah, anywhere else. They don't need to be on the side of the table.
But this is I feel like this is very much like an old 40k thing or like fantasy thing.
I think it's a fantasy thing. I'm not really sure. Like,
because 40k has more like ruins and stuff scattered throughout the table because you're fighting over like a city.
Yeah, they have
a lot of fantasy was like
terrain.
Yeah. A lot of fantasy was just like house or tower or big rock, kind of just like either somewhere randomly or like off to the side to like shorten the board, basically.
Yeah, with a very barren table otherwise, because they had the flying triangles of cavalry and everything that needed to be able to wheel obscenely weird ways
to just work.
Yeah, just to work. Yeah, this is a B plus, honestly. Like, just move the obstructing, like we said before.
Oh, just skilling again. Nope, too many threes. 33. What do we got here? Oh. Okay, so I wanna preface this. This is when we started to slowly moving the train and realize that we could.
Mm-hmm.
The giant ass tower. Look at this fucking thing. I believe was here to start.
Oh.
Yeah. I remember this directly because I remember we started to realize like we just need to get rid of this because there's no way we can play this table with this giant ass tower right there.
Yeah, I really like that tower. Like,
oh, it looks majestic.
Yeah, but
it should basically just be that.
Yeah, it should just replace that piece. So,
and the garrison should just be thrown in the garbage.
Yeah, in the garbage. Like they're cute little wooden palisades that have now suddenly. I'm always going to associate them with garrison and want to burn them every time I see them. But
they're made out of wood, so you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy operation.
Otherwise, everything seems to be okay. Maybe that one. I keep pointing at my screen, even though you can't visually see me doing that. The forest across closer to Skillin. Yeah, that forest could probably get moved to the left some to work on that.
Oh yeah, to like fill that hole.
Yeah, over there. Yeah, that's fine. Like with some adjustments, this is a fine table, but it has a garrison on it, so it's a C.
Sorry, garrison. You're bad.
It's gonna be really sad when Leo listens to this if he does.
I don't. He's have to watch it. What the fuck is happening with this table?
I can barely see those. But
it's so hard. What the fuck is going on?
That is a diarrhea table,
though.
I don't know what this is. So it might be another forest. It might be like broken ground or something. You know what? Probably let's go with a forest. Let's be smart. We probably weren't that stupid.
I don't think this is the worst setup. Those forests could be closer, a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the hill, like the obstructions, could be like here, and the forest could be across from it. You know, closer to the zones or whatever.
You can do that pretty easily.
Yeah.
The water in that placement is just funny. We've seen that before at some of the other ones. You could even probably like have it more on one zone than the other, even.
Oh yeah, like if you just push the water, like it's more this way for your opponent and more this way for you, kind of thing. So it balances. Yeah.
Overall, this is not a bad one. This is a B plus because it can be easily fixed. There's enough terrain on it overall, really, because there's 7 pieces. There's interesting amounts, and it's not in the worst place.
Okay, but what about as is though?
Um,
Like
a B.
This okay. Well then.
Yeah, because I would still play on it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably wouldn't be the happiest, but like it's still serviceable.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, I'd actually love to play on it with my slingers because there's a lot of firing lines.
Oh, and it's very wide open.
Yeah, it is.
Once you get in a position, you're fine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, here you go. I was telling you about the. Why the fuck is it?
So like just move them slightly off. I think it probably uses maybe one more piece of terrain, probably. Something different that isn't a forest.
Just right in the middle of the table.
Yeah, like I've done that before and it's not the worst thing. It really makes that center point a fight. Because if you charge into it, you're not getting your impacts. You're not getting your inspire. If you're shooting into it, you have worse shots. So like there's some
think. Oh yeah, I was playing all cav.
Yeah, you were just charging right into that.
Yeah,
one way or another.
Nothing I could do.
Yeah. So like that's also a thing you got to consider is like when somebody brings a SKU list like that, is it going to be a fun experience? Probably not, because you're not getting all your fun, super happy horse kick to the face shit.
No, that was all of Adepticon.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
Yeah, I remember why Rolo did that because there's
slingers.
There was a ton of like slinger shooting, but there was also a ton of like Ashen Dawn cav.
Yeah. This one is mostly okay. I think it just needs one more piece of terrain, so a B plus.
Okay.
It'd be an A if you just moved a little bit and then added another interesting piece like water or broken even.
We don't drink here. Well, they're getting better slowly. That's good. That's a good sign.
Or some hills even.
Oh, here we go.
There's a piece of garrison right there. Yep.
And then you can barely see that thing.
Yeah, it's an odd color. It's like vomit.
That's how I feel sometimes on these tables.
Yeah. I don't dislike where some of the placements are here because you still have a lot of open space. Honestly, for movement.
Yeah.
It's just remove the garrison, put something else there. You know, it should be anything else.
Even another forest.
Yeah, even another forest. Ideally, a hill.
Let me get the hill color. I think it's this one. There's the hill color.
Yeah, sure, it's a hill. It breaks line of sight, but you can still interact with it.
Perfect. What are you dubbing this sucker?
That's another B plus, baby.
Oh wow, okay. I do like this one because you got a bunch of lanes you can move through. It's not super tight, but also the terrain is around the ejectos where you're going to be fighting over.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. We've arrived at Adepticon.
Ah. Now, I understand why some of the terrain was as it was for Adepticon, and how there was a few issues of like saying what was what until Rolo came around. It was really sparse on some tables, and it was really heavy on others.
Like this one?
Oh, yeah, it was really sparse here. Holy shit!
I think this might have been like hindering.
That was
broken.
Like, yeah, it was something like that.
And I think this might have been.
That was broken.
Yeah. Okay, there we go.
It was just like a broken building, and like there's only 2 forests on that entire table. This is the bad table, in my opinion.
Rolo, no!
This is a D minus. It's not a failure because you can still actively play on it, and people seem to have an interesting time on it. But I think it could have been better. And this was what was that? That was five. That was declined flank, wasn't it?
No, this was foresight.
Oh,
Yeah, this was foresight.
I hate foresight.
Everyone hates foresight. That's the scenario that should be shot twice and then left out to die if it's still alive. I fucking despise that one. This was grind them down.
Yep.
Got that. We got a big ass forest right beside a big ass building. This is super sparse. Right. What the fuck?
I'm gonna like depart for a second from like my grading and be like, we have rules.
Yeah?
For where terrain is supposed to go, Rolo. You're supposed to be at least some inches away from one another.
So here's the thing. It might not have been Rolo, because remember...
It might not have been. Yeah, he had
Leo was also there making tables.
He had helpers.
Yeah, he had Leo.
Ugh. We have rules for how far away terrain is supposed to be. I ignore them all the time. But that little interaction right there between that giant-ass forest and that big-ass building is not okay. I don't personally believe that is not okay when the rest of the table is as barren as this. It's a desert table, and it sure as hell is dry as one.
There's no water.
Yeah, there's no water, no hills, nothing. Just that one forest next to a building.
Yeah. This table sucks. Okay, there we go. Get that sucker done.
I'd be mad if I got this for Adepticon.
Well, I did, so here we are.
I know, I'm sorry. I mean, you play Cav, so...
Yeah, it still sucked because that fucking building and the giant forest were in the way.
That's true.
I'm trying to find... Okay, I think this is round 3. Yeah, this is round 3. Here we go. Okay. What do we have here? We got the broken. Check. We have... Now, I remember this was effectively a forest in doing obscuring.
Effectively.
It was a hay field, but it was basically a forest. I think that was broken. I
think green was supposed to be water. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be water.
Let's get the water out. There we go. And then we had 2 obstruction.
Yep.
I think we got this table remade because it like had only 4 pieces of terrain on it, and they had to go find us more pieces of terrain.
Now I understand why there was so little terrain on a lot of tables for Adepticon, because they lost an entire bin of terrain and had to go buy a bunch from the vendors. And thank God for who was it that sold them the mats?
Oh my god, I should know who these people are.
It wasn't War Games. It was
no,
God. But God bless them.
I know. I think it was Broken Egg. Yeah, it was
Broken Egg. Yeah. Thank God for Broken Egg being around. Holy shit.
Yeah, because I think we bought all their terrain.
Yeah. I remember going by the booth and seeing Stavros talking with him and being like, okay, give me all of your terrain.
Yeah.
He's like, what? All of it?
It's like, oh, okay. It's great for Broken Egg.
Yeah. I still think this is another F. A lot of this table is very sparse, very bare.
Hold on, let me show you. I think this is the end. This is the end of the game, basically. I think this went to time, and this is round 8. But there's 2 Astronaut just fighting in the middle of the fucking forest, not being able to do anything to each other.
Yeah, the one saving grace is that giant, essentially a forest in the middle.
Oh yeah,
because we're both playing cavalry.
Yeah,
it's what sort of balanced it out. It still wasn't the greatest though. It's still an F for me.
Sorry, table. Here you go, F. Yeah, they're I remember playing it. Well, I do remember, but it was there were some brutal tables. This guy.
This one, 2 water, 2 forest, 2 obstructing. You have that giant empty space. The broken is near it. This isn't an F, but this is still kind of
it's
really
not
rough.
Great.
Yeah, a lot of the terrain is shifted towards one side of the table when you look at it.
Oh yeah, like it's predominantly like that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there's
So
1,
this is
2,
definitely a
3,
D.
4, 5 out of the 7.
Yep. Like it wouldn't take a whole lot to fix this and make this more serviceable, in my opinion. But this is definitely a D.
And lastly, for Adepticon,
Shouldn't you have 6 pictures?
no, I forgot to take photos for the last game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this has been to Brian.
Yeah, it's Brian. Brian whooped my ass.
Yeah.
It was a rough game. Well, the thing is like Brian lost the exact same list or a variant of it the previous round, so he knew exactly what to do into me, so it did not help.
Oh yeah. There's just the 2 forests, the 2 water, the 2.
Like it was also
This one
like super tight and just kind of like, well, I'm just gonna get shot.
Yeah.
And
the
and
one forest.
And one force is so far back, it's not helping.
Yeah. Well, it's helping Brian
Against my non-existent guns. Yes.
Yeah. But you know, this is another D. Like it could be easily fixed by just some normal adjustments that you would have as a TO if you had helpers. And I really hope that they have help for the tournament that's gonna possibly have 64 people in Milwaukee. Oh look, it's Chuck.
Yeah, why did it not? It's just Chuck. It's more of him. Why is he?
Flashbacks. Ah!
Yeah. Chuck did very well. I believe he won. Okay.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, no, it's the Adepticon tables I would like to see more of. Well, I do have Michigan tables, so we get to look at those at some point. Okay, so this is the first game back after Adepticon.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't see the garrison terrain, so.
Okay, so now we're playing at the other store.
Okay.
So tables are being done by Skillen.
Okay.
Or we're doing them just kind of whatever.
Those should be forest from the looks of them, are they?
Oh, you are right. I am.
Okay.
Using the
This
wrong
is
color.
This is better.
What the heck is my broken ground color? I think it was this guy. Yep. And then hills. You were a hill, and then you are water. Water? Water. There we go.
So this is more in line with how I usually build my tables too.
Oh, hear that, Skillen? I hope he is going to watch this and be like laughing and crying the entire way.
Like, I could see maybe some adjustments being made, but this is still an A because this is still a good table that gives you interesting things to do.
Yeah.
And different approaches. Yeah.
Forces choices. Yeah, no. You know, like my favorite scenario is probably melee, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a really good scenario.
Well,
it has a lot of interesting things.
It's in the middle, it forces a fight, and it spreads it across the table. And you can put terrain nicely between everything. That's why I like melee.
My only issue with this table is it's all 2D terrain.
Yeah.
But that's like not an actual grade that can be given. That's an aesthetic thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's something for people outside of the game and for people who enjoy that.
Yeah. So all the games at the second store are going to be doing 2D because we have to bring it in ourselves.
Exactly. So that's understandable.
Like, yeah. Back at the other store, your favorite.
If these are just obstructing, it's not that big a deal. But if these are garrisons,
you know they're garrisons. They're garrisons every time. It's never changing.
See, the placement of the other terrain is much better than it was before.
I know. Called improvement, but still, he grabbed garrisons.
I know. Yep. You could just say they're obstructing. I'm sure you guys treated them like they
Hold
were.
on, let me check to see if there's anything in turn 3. Did anyone go in there? Nope. Turn 4? No.
I was one of the few people locally who had actually used garrison terrain as garrison terrain, so was pretty rare for anybody else to do.
No, we did not use it at all. Sorry, Cassandra.
Sorry.
Yeah, god damn it.
This is pretty serviceable otherwise, so maybe some movement here and there. This is kind of an A. You know, Is it okay?
I think we actually started to just say the garrisons were obstructions after a while, to be honest.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
And reviewing those photos, it looks like we did.
Yeah.
No, Cassandra, for your use of garrisons, yes, no, we did use them, but they were also just bad.
Yeah. It rarely went well, but I would try to use them.
Oh yeah, if they're in a good position, for sure.
It's just an unfortunate type of terrain. Oh boy.
Do you see it?
Yep. It's the wall again.
Line don't lie.
Oh my god. It also only has 5 pieces of terrain.
Yep. Only 5 pieces. This is an F, buddy. That's a W, sorry.
Yeah.
Is it FW or WF?
It's a W.
So bad. What the fuck was happening here?
I mean,
Someone just give up?
Jeez. Maybe there was multiple games going on and they didn't have enough terrain. I don't know.
No, we have. We literally have a massive room full of terrain.
Yeah,
You have
it's
no
terrain
idea.
Shangri-La up in there. That's not the reason.
No, there's they had this side room full of terrain, but then they opened up this back room, and then the entire wall from one end to the other is just terrain. There's plenty. And it's all categorized in different terrain sets for different things. You got your pick.
That's pretty
Nobody's
nice,
doing
honestly.
it like that store.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this one's a little better.
Okay. This is alright.
5
I don't see
forests.
that might be a little much for forests. You can definitely go overboard.
Remember, we don't drink
But
here.
you don't have hills either.
No.
You're a flat landscape with no water.
If you ever come to Manitoba, you will see that and be like, "Yep, that is exactly."
I'll bring my own water.
No, you have to go get Canadian water. It tastes different.
Okay. All right. This is the B mostly because it's all uniform sort of terrain. There's no real variety and there's nothing super interesting about it. There is a nice the obstructing pieces are slightly off center, so you have a different approach towards the middle. But it's still not that great. It's a B. It's a
B.
It's a B.
It's all big. Okay. This is Nick. This is the guy I go to the gym with. He's playing my 100K, and this is at the other store. It's closer to where we live.
Okay. This isn't bad either.
Oh, look, there's hills.
There are some hills here.
And then
We're the Iron Maiden fans in the house.
There's one obstruction. That's a broken. Pardon me. And then these are waters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go.
There is a very big empty space, but that's not super big. Not a super big deal.
Is
You got 9 pieces. Yeah, you're a little maybe too much, but they're all kind of small, so it's okay. I would call this a B plus.
Okay, good job, me. I made this
Good
table.
job, Matt.
Yeah, getting better.
Matt's just getting graded, and he's like, "I'll fucking kill you, Kang."
You've already seen what I play on locally. We had a whole string of D's and F's.
Yeah.
We gotta get to the good stuff now. Who is that? Now I gotta figure out who this is by the... Oh, that's probably Skillin.
Yeah, it's going.
I can tell by his skinny-ass calves.
You know what? This table's okay. This is fine. You got 3 forests.
We might have 4 forests.
That's okay. They're small.
Yeah, we got 2 small and 2 big.
That's okay.
Biggie Smalls would be proud.
The obstructings aren't in the way. This is an A table. I think this
Okay.
is a good example because there's interesting stuff still happening. This is also on decline flank. It looks like.
Yeah. We probably did not play Foresight unless we were forced to.
So, it's terrain near all the objectives is good. You have a lot of approaches, so I like it.
I'm glad. This is good job. The fuck is this?
This is a narrative table.
Oh, this game only lasted to turn 4.
Oh,
That was the end of turn 4. I think my
is this when
opponent
you
gave
started-
up.
This is right before your painting war crime.
Yeah, because I think, yeah, they have 3 regiments left, and the left flank is basically collapsed, and I'm going to just unload shots in that Fallen Divinity in a moment. Yeah, no, this game ended on turn 4. But yeah, I also agree this is a fucking narrative table on casual game day.
Yeah, this is...
Like, what happened? We had good tables for a moment.
I don't know. Like, at least the forests matter, I suppose,
Mm-hmm.
for the most part. The water is an interesting adjustment. But, it's an F still, because there's... it's not... a lot of the terrain just doesn't matter.
No, it's not doing anything. It looks pretty. That's it.
Oh. Hmm.
What else have we got here? Oh. Back at the other store.
Okay. Let's see the water in between the zones again, which is, still funny, still good.
I think we just like doing that, to be honest, at this point.
Yeah.
We just,
Like, it creates it creates an interesting thing for you to do.
okay, well, because sometimes in games they do pop up to being annoying and, like, relevant. And other times they don't because, you just rush past it or whatever.
It gives you that incentive to do that a lot of the time. Like, on top of, like, wanting to score in front of your opponent. So,
yeah. But also,
yeah,
if you,
no,
like,
this is-
set up here, overlip it with, let's say, 1 out of your 3 stands, it's not affecting you while your opponent's going to be majority in it.
Yep. So, I'd say this is another A, because this is still pretty good.
I think this is
I'd
a
be
skilling
fine.
table.
I'd be happy playing on it.
Yeah, good job, skilling.
How many more do we have?
Oh, don't worry. We have 18, probably like 22.
Oh, my.
Yeah, told you it's going to be long. We're going to go through all of them.
So this isn't a bad table either, honestly. Because the 2 obstructing, they still have space to go around them. It does create a lane right there in the middle, but it's also broken up by forests. So you have to fight on that lane. And then, if you can go around on the bigger area, or you can approach from the side, you can infect it. And this is also like the Hail Mary lane anyway, because these are your opponent's owned zones.
Mm-hmm.
This one.
I think my opponent did run some like Raptor Riders down this flank into me at one point in this game.
Yeah. I think this is an okay table. This is an A.
We're getting there, guys. We're doing better. It only took us like 2 years.
It's what happens. Okay. Yeah. There's like a really big open space in the middle there, honestly, for shooting. There's no forest.
Like
So,
here. Yeah.
But also, like, those 2 hills, they do block a little bit of line of sight, but once you get something on top of them. So yeah, I don't think it's bad. It's more shooting oriented for this sort of setup. I still wouldn't be unhappy to play on it, because you still have to approach it differently than most other tables, I guess. So,
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm pretty sure this is when I was getting to like Dweg shooting, so all my opponents got shot in the face.
Yeah, so a B+.
Okay. I do agree that it probably needed more. Like that water should have been a forest or something, or a hill or whatever.
Probably. For some reason this just looks anemic.
Because all the train's super small.
I mean, the setup of the train's not bad. It's just it looks really anemic and it looks bad, like aesthetically.
Yeah.
But there's enough terrain there. It's all in interesting places. I think that's supposed to be broken ground there.
I don't know if that is or not.
But if it's a forest, like it's still all affecting zones and everything. Like this, a lot of what we're seeing in like putting in the A and the B category is not bad, and like I'd be happy to play on it, and sort of something you should model after. Maybe not
Exactly.
immediate. Yeah. It's not something you should like copy exactly, but you should model after it and try and find that sort of balance. Like I would play on this. This is a B plus
Oh, you
at
know
the very
what?
least.
This was the I think this is the slugfest between Skillin and me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Trying to like not lose my Drakes right now. Yeah, this was very much a slugfest. What else
Okay.
do we have? Yeah, we're saying this is an A.
I said it's like a B plus and A. It's
Yeah.
in there. It's like it's that area right in between.
It's good, but there can be a little bit of improvement. Okay, this is really hard to see, but
Yeah.
that's a forest.
Okay.
And then we got hill. This is very light. I think these are obstructions. This might have been
Yeah.
the day where we did not have access to a lot of terrain.
I still think this one's mostly okay because of where the obstructing and the forest are, and even the hills. Honestly, it makes you sort of approach melee specifically as
Yeah.
like a kill box.
Yeah, there's a fight right there.
Yeah, there's a fight there, and shooting is going to be happening over the heads of people. Which you're gonna address that by going around, going through the forest, going around, getting those zones on the outside too. So yeah, this is okay too. This is a B plus or an A.
Job.
Like a general area there. I keep waffling about it, but that's what it feels like.
Well, no, it means we're doing good because we've had so many stinkers or like just absolute nuttiness. This one's
Okay.
a little weird, but also this one's actually just kind of weird.
I don't dislike it, but at the same time, I think a lot of the terrain should be closer to zones.
Yeah, like it's too far away for the train to be relevant to the zone, except for like I'll just do it in red or whatever. Like these guys,
Yeah,
and this guy.
yeah.
The waters are not relevant at all. The buildings
Yeah.
split the map here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not
Like,
bad, but
You could honestly replace one of the building or switch one of the buildings with a water and have just a straight mirrored map and then adjust them to cover zones.
yeah, like what
The
this.
water specifically. Yeah.
Let's just pick a different color. Use this one. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
That does remind me of there's some communities and some people that are trying to have like terrain setups where the terrain is always out, you never move it. All you do is replace zones and objective markers. I think that's an interesting thing you can do.
Like the train is just on the table, and you just have to like that play it off of where it lies.
No,
Or is this like during a tournament kind of thing?
During a tournament, they specifically place the terrain in a place where they know what scenario you're playing. It will not overlap a zone or a marker.
Oh, okay, yeah. Makes it
So, like,
easier to set up your tables after each round.
yeah, I think there's something that can be done with that. Like, if people
Yeah.
want to keep going and trying that. Personally, I like the idea of adjusting tables each time, even though it takes time.
Well, because then you can put like a little bit of a spin or a flair to it that might influence the matchup.
Yeah.
Or make someone actually make a decision kind of thing instead of just having what feels like procedurally generated tables.
Yeah. I think with the terrain that doesn't move at all, it does feel like this, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what prompted the thought.
No, I get you, because like that doesn't matter, that doesn't matter. The 3/4 matter, and there's this weird split in the table, and
Yeah.
and you're basically free to just run over the zones.
Yeah. Essentially. I think it's sort of like a pitfall for that sort of placement.
Mm-hmm.
So this isn't a bad table, though. This is definitely a B plus.
Good job, guys. B plus. Who's next? You're next. What the fuck is happening in this game?
This is a minimum amount of terrain. Maybe this is practice for minimum amounts of terrain.
That's fair, because that does happen.
This looks like new bulwark.
Yeah, it sure does. And I think I shot Skill in the face.
Yep. It's unfortunate that you shot him in the face.
Hold on, let me go check. Yep, I shot him in the face. I do like this maneuver on the right here, though. Like, pulling him off the zone.
Exactly. Like, this is suffering from there being too little terrain. Like, if it was an Adepticon table, I'd call it a D.
No.
But
At a casual local thing?
At a casual local thing, it's C.
This is using the clock. This is Skill and I fucking around with the clock. Yeah.
If this is practicing with the clock, too, I can see why you had little terrain. It's still a C table.
That's fine, because that's what we're rating. But no, Skill and I, this is the game where Skill and I were seeing what does a clock do with Conquest, and I think we gave ourselves an hour 15 each. And the game ended, and we had like 25 and 35 minutes left. So like you can, and like with a little bit more practice on the clock, I'm like we could probably get that down to an hour, and then clocks would be fine in Conquest, to be honest.
I know that across the state, their last event at GRG, they used clocks, and I heard it worked out pretty well. I didn't get a whole lot of info from them about it, like what the general consensus was, what everyone felt like. It was more like everyone is going to be using clocks for these events now at GRG, and I'm like, okay, it's not what I was asking.
Nice. The clock, like, it's probably scary to begin with, but once you start playing with it and get into the rhythm of it, it's really simple. And a lot of the time, your opponent slaps you the clock, you draw your card, you do your thing once they're done. And then you're like, okay, I'm gonna charge. Oh, I'm in. I get the charge. I'm gonna clash. I roll my dice. It's like getting your opponent. You're like, you get 16 hits, and you slap the clock to your opponent, who picks up 16 dice, rolls the dice. Oh, I'm taking these wounds, pull it off. And then at that point, 9 times out of 10, they just draw into their next card, to be honest. Because there's no reason to slap it back. Yeah. But sometimes you're doing like Spyos, Biomancy, where you're like activating 3 things all at once. You're just giving it back to your opponent. But most of the time, it just kind of chains into each other. And it's pretty, like, we did not really have a problem. The only time we paused the clock was during deck building. And even then...
That's like the only time you should, probably.
Yeah, and even then, like, you could pause the clock until one player is done and then start the clock on your opponent's turn because you're done and now waiting.
Yeah.
Like, you could do that, but like that would have to be like a community. That would either have to be in like official clock rules or like what the community thinks is good for etiquette. Because there have been times where I've like sat for like 10, 15 minutes while another player builds their stack, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, there should be a time limit on stack building.
So that's the other thing. Like, it's paused until one player is done, and then they turn the clock on for their opponent because their opponent is now waiting. And then once they're done, they pause it to, like, do the roll off or whatever. So that pause could be very short, like maybe it's another 15 seconds. But if it's 10 minutes, it's 10 minutes.
Yeah. So I personally have never used clocks, but that's not like an indictment of them. I think they're a really great tool. And I'm open to using them personally. It's just, I need to get a bunch of clocks.
Yeah, and the clocks, I have clocks from War Machine. I have like probably 6 to 8 of them. They're not cheap. Like you're probably like to get good chess clocks, you're probably putting like $50 to $60 down.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
So like it's also one of those things where like if your community is not used to using clocks at all, it can be a fight because, they're just not, they're scared of it. Like you said, it's scary at first.
Well, what you do is you do the motions, but you can't lose on clock until people feel comfortable. So, like when I was playing War Machine, I always played on a clock, and when I was playing a newer player, I told them like, you cannot lose to the clock, but you can clock me as an additional win condition.
Okay, that's pretty nice.
And like I would just play the newer player, and if I'm like, if you forget about your clock, I'll just hit it for you. Don't worry about it. Like. And I would do that, or they'd be like, "Oh, the clock," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine. Like, don't worry about it." and it was really just because I needed that level of practice.
Yeah.
And it was mostly for me because like I was playing a lot of stuff on clock at that time. To the point where I basically just had to play on clock if I was going to play anybody, and I just told newer players like, you have another way to beat me.
Yeah.
Never happened, but still. It was like
I have some reservations about getting clocked as a win condition.
oh yeah.
I don't actually. I made my joke. I assumed we would just move on from there.
Okay.
But
Next table. This
Yeah.
guy.
This was not bad either. You could probably move one of the waters, like switch a forest with the water.
Oh yeah.
This is a B plus overall, honestly. It also pushes you to fight in the middle when you have the two waters there to fight and make it harder. So
Yeah, because sometimes you could end up like this,
exactly.
and now you're
You
you're stuck either way. It's like, oh no, two stand in the water.
Yep.
This may look like the wall, but it's not.
Yeah. What is that?
I don't know. I think it was like broken or something.
Okay.
It's like broken or
I can-
perilous.
I can see that.
And then we have 4 forests because that is the only way you play forests is with pairs of 4.
I mean, I can see this is like if you're going by the normal win strategy of controlling 2/3 of the table. Okay, sure.
We did also replace the white forest with a green forest, so that it wasn't annoying.
That's fair. I don't like that the obstructing are still touching the back edge of the board.
Yeah,
But,
that's the flavor.
Yep, this is a B then. This is not the worst table to play on. Like even with them there, yes, I would play. Yes, be kind of like cool about them being there.
No, it's I don't know. When I played on it was fine, to be honest.
Just don't
What's up?
like it aesthetically, I suppose. Like it does cut off part of the table. But if you weren't having too much issue, I suppose it can be okay. It may just depend on the faction as well.
Yeah, this is 100. No, this is Dwag?
Yeah,
Looks
I
like
see your
Dwag. Dwag versus Nords. What the fuck is happening in this game? I couldn't even tell you. Oh, yes. When we forgot to bring the mat.
Ah,
So we had to play on space because the X-Wing players
yeah,
play on
the
these
third
tables.
phase final boss fight Conquest mod.
Final destination, no items.
yeah. No, I see that.
Oh my god,
I mean,
what
it's
the
a very-
fuck were we
very-
doing?
It's a very balanced board. It truly is a mirror match at Final Destination.
I don't think, like... It's probably fine, but also, like, there should be more terrain.
Yeah, it's fine, but there should be more interesting. It's a B minus.
Okay. And this guy. I think this is an improvement of something we saw earlier, what you didn't like.
Yeah, this is an improvement, definitely. Like they're not that one's almost touching it, but it's okay. This is a solid B because it still like has the terrain in the way, and it has it in the approaches you probably want to take. So,
But also, like, this is open. You're kind of doing that.
and it's still only 6 pieces of terrain,
Yeah.
so it could probably use more for more fun. Could be better.
Be better. Some of these are very off to the side. Also, we have returned. I don't know if those were forests. These were probably forests. These might have been, like, broken forests.
Okay.
That for sure was water. And this was buildings. I think stuff is too spread out.
Yeah, it's spread out. It's giving me the same vibes as the before, as the terrain pre-placed for all scenarios.
Yep.
It is very spread out. It's on melee.
Yep.
in that middle. So
Sorry?
you're gonna be fighting middle for melee on the sides. So like, I suppose the forests are okay in their places they are, but it still feels spread out.
Yeah, because I remember this game. This was against Skill and me, and Skill and basically like set up basically this way, and then I just kind of like slammed into him from that, and I remember do it in orange, basically these 3 zones, and just kind of keep him in his corner.
Yeah. But so far, you can kind of see like there's a pattern here with a lot of like the terrain setups and like how you approach the building of the table and like what you want to do and what's wrong with a lot of the tables.
It's good. I hope people learn from these like 70 plus tables of what to do and not to do.
Yeah,
don't build the wall.
Yeah, don't build the wall. The wall is fun and amusing to build, but don't build the wall. This is interesting.
And then we got, what the hell was happening here?
There's only one forest.
Yeah, but we got 2 hills.
Yeah, there's something to be said about that because the hills they're more back, so they're more like shooting platforms.
Yeah. What was I playing? This was Egg Wardens. This is the whole, like, basically it was majority melee Dweg before we got to current melee Dweg.
Okay. I think it probably could benefit from replacing one of the waters with a forest or adding a forest, even.
Yeah, like we have too many forests, now we have too little forest.
Yeah, there's like a balance there for them. You should have them. They should be present.
Like what, around there and there, or, whatever. But
yeah, I think this is still a solid B, honestly, because a shooting army is going to hurt a melee army fighting on this, but a melee army that connects is going to kill that shooting army.
Oh yeah,
and score. So,
all right. So we have round 1. This is Michigan GT. Oh, I can actually see these way better. So you were here for this one.
I was.
Yes, you were over here.
Yep, I was directly next to you.
You were actually? Was it Jeff across from you? Because I remember you and Jeff.
Me and Jeff were playing. Yes.
Yeah. Now I gotta remember what the fuck this train was because it's so weird. Those are instructions.
Yep. The big ones with the little pools in them were broken.
These were broken? Yeah, I totally forgot what these were.
The smoke clouds were like forests. They were hindering, obscuring.
Are they hindering, obscuring? I thought they were just obscuring, to be honest.
They might have just been obscuring.
Okay, and then what about the crater in the middle?
I don't remember. Like, I love Ian, but I was very confused with a lot of the terrain at Michigan GT. I needed a primer. I really did need a primer for it.
Yeah, it's not as intuitive as you just look at it. I'm just gonna say it's Garrison. No, you can.
I know
it's not.
I know it's not Garrison, but like at the same time, it kind of would have been about the same. I think it might have been dangerous even.
Yeah, I think it was like super scary or something. There we go. Super scary.
Yeah. Like the placement of the terrain itself is not bad.
No.
The aesthetic cohesion is giving me aneurysms.
Is it because we're fighting in Thanos' butthole right now?
That and like just the general vibe of it, but that's okay. Yeah, it's not bad at all. There's 7 pieces of terrain. That's an average amount. If I remember, this game was still pretty close.
No,
or was it not close at all?
That's turn 8.
Okay, so maybe it could have benefited more from terrain, but also like I didn't pay that much attention to your guys' game while I was fighting Jeff.
No, you guys are busy.
Yeah. So I don't dislike the terrain. It could have been adjusted slightly, maybe different kinds. But I also know like working with what he's got too.
Oh yeah, I know. I 100% get that. You kind of just gotta play with what you have a lot of the times. It's not
exactly.
not every store has a whole room full of terrain ready to go for every war game and everything possible.
It's so hard to do that.
Yeah.
And then have people take care of it.
Oh yeah. Like it gets broken.
Yep. So I'll give it a B.
B. B for best. Yeah. It was a fine table, to be honest.
Yeah. Better than Adepticon.
Yes, better than Adepticon. Adepticon was a little rough. That's one of the reasons why I went with a shooting list.
Yep.
Because I didn't really want to get stuck in with all the hindering terrain again.
Yep.
This
All right.
one. This is round 2. There's Chuck in his hand.
Yep. I know that's a hill. I know that's a hill back there, actually. It's supposed to be a hill.
That's supposed to be a hill? We
sure.
we treated that as an obstruction.
Yeah, that's fine. Then the 2 palisades are dangerous terrain, which is okay too.
Yeah.
Like I kind of like the palisades running around. That one on the left should have been closer to the middle, in my opinion. But you know, hey.
Yeah. Because the middle is very open.
Yeah. So this is I'll say this one's the C mostly because the middle is so open. You could have shoved a lot of the terrain closer or had it more impactful in there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just some minor adjustments make it better. As we keep iterating, like minor adjustments just make terrain better.
This is round 3.
Oh, it's a Charlie.
Yeah. He's great. I fucking love that guy. Okay, so funny story. We got the beers. I already know you're freaking out. That's fine. But this lady came by and was a security guard, and she was basically buttling up beside Charlie, like you're very familiar with someone, like that's your mom, and she was kind of looking at us, and she was like, "You're not allowed to have those drinks here. Those aren't regulated by the con." And it's like, "Oh, we're sorry." And we tossed them. They were already empty. But yep. I was like, "Dude, I thought that was your mom," because she was basically right beside him. Just kind of buddy, and it was like, what the fuck is going on? Is this your mother? There have been times where I'll be playing games at the store or something, my mother will just randomly show up because she's buying something. It's what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah. That lady was bullshit, by the way. Because she was going around getting everyone to get rid of their drinks so security could leave for the day.
Oh, really? That's what she was actually doing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
It was so they could leave, and they can't leave while there's alcohol present still.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah. So
I think that's roughly what everything was. Yes. This has the same problem.
Yeah, it's another very open space. It's another C. Like you said, your cans are on the fucking table.
Yeah, we drank those.
Yeah, I know. But overall, it's still a serviceable table.
Yeah, this was a shootout because Charlie was playing a Nord's gun line, I was playing a Dwight gun line, so we basically shot at each other.
Oh, another thing of note, though, you notice the colored dots on the mat.
Oh yeah,
that was really cool and very clever of them. They were not for terrain, but they were for all the different objectives that would be placed on the mats throughout the day. And I liked it. I still haven't done it because I am a masochist and I just enjoy making my life harder when I set up stuff.
Wait, do they just roll those dots with the mat? They never pluck them off after?
Well, sometimes they do. They pluck them off and they put them back on the sheet because they're multi-sticky or whatever it is.
Oh, okay. They're reusable. Oh, that's actually pretty smart.
Yeah.
I feel like I would just put them on there and never take them off and be like, yeah, whatever.
I mean, that's something you can do, for sure.
All right, round 4. This is against Apex Chinchilla.
Yep. Apex, doing good. This is the same table Chuck and you played on.
Exactly. But the train's in different spots now and actually more relevant places.
A little bit, yeah. It's more relevant. This is a better terrain placement, in my opinion. This is an A.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think this was a forest. And I believe we also, if it was supposed to be a hill, we did treat it as an obstruction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say it's a B, actually, because there's still a lot of space in the middle there. There's
Like
just the water. You could
this,
have had a
actually.
forest like smacked in between one of the two objectives.
Yeah, it didn't help because Apex is running a double slinger like 5-stand build, and I'm running gunline,
Yeah.
so we're just blasting each
Like
other.
you end up just sitting each other 16 to 18 inches apart and just shooting.
Yeah, like that's how that one got played.
Yep.
Okay. We're getting close. Don't worry.
Yep.
What the?
This is a lot of stuff.
I think these are all like charge through, take a wound, or something.
Okay. I mean, it looks like there's 11 to 12 pieces of terrain on the table, which is more than you usually have. I don't dislike it though.
No, because it's all in like what's that pre-built you were talking about?
Yeah, it is. It's very off of zones. If the terrain was maybe a little bit more push towards zones, clumped together, maybe even, it would be a little bit more impactful. But I think, like, I wonder how the game actually went with this one.
Okay, here's turn 5.
Okay, a lot of stuff is dead. I see 2 Hellbringer Drakes. I see some Thunder Riders. Wow, stuff died really fast.
Yeah, this is turn 5. The Hellbringers are ironclad, so they didn't own
Oh,
second
they're
ironclad yet, and that is an ironclad. But my opponent has 3 things left, and one of them is this was called before the end of round 5, so I still have stuff to activate, and they have still 2 activations left, and one of them is going to eat has like 4 wounds left and is going to eat 8 Aura of Deaths, so it's going to be 2 very shortly.
I see.
Yeah.
So overall, the table doesn't seem too bad.
No.
The obstructing. No, it's all right. It's not a bad table.
Like this is turn 3, so you can. There's like a big fight happening over there.
Yeah. I'm gonna dock it a point because it has 12 pieces, like over the minimum or over the maximum they require. But like, also there were 5 pieces of terrain on Adepticon tables, so it's still a B.
Good job. Let's see here. We have 1, 3, so 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 more tables to do. We're almost done, guys.
All right. Okay.
We like to play with a lot of terrain.
It looks like a lot, but it's all spread out.
Yeah. Yes, that is my circle color. Or my hill color.
There's not a whole lot touching zones or really like the only ones that are really affecting the zones are the obstructing and the hills because the hills give you dominance over them with shooting if you do it.
Yeah.
So
too bad that did not happen because the game was played. I'll tell you how this game went. It was played here.
Oh.
Yes.
That's unfortunate.
Yes,
that's still I'll still call that a C, mostly because things are like still really far out.
There we go. It was played there.
Ouch. That's a rough one, I gotta say. That's your second ironclad there. I see it built.
Yeah, now I gotta paint him. He's actually missing his head. Oh. It fell off. Alright, now we're into the Saskatoon second tournament. So this is where we had the largest Canadian event, was 20 players.
Oh, rad.
Yeah. We were gonna have 22, but then we only had 20 show up. So, still very good.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out the terrain here too.
I know, I'm circling it for you as quickly as I can to help you.
Sometimes it's interesting to just kind of look at a table and try and figure out what were they thinking.
What was happening here?
Yeah.
Do you ever look at someone and just think, man, what is going on inside their head?
Yeah, all the time. All the fucking time. When I look at my youngest, that happens.
Are they trying to eat the paste? And you're like, please stop.
No, it's not the paste. It's like she's over there plotting. She runs a mafia at her school. She's like a little fucking 8-year-old mafia boss.
Wow. I don't think she gets it from you, but I have seen your wife, so I wouldn't put it past her.
Yeah, you've seen my wife. This is an interesting amount of terrain and interesting types of terrain, I suppose. So those are all 3 hills?
Those are broken.
Oh, they're broken. Okay.
Yeah, the light purple is broken. The dark purple would be hills. There's no hills here.
I think it has a proper amount of terrain. I think one of those broken should have been a forest.
Yeah, also the forests are very small.
Yeah, the size of the forest is kind of a problem. Not really a problem, but like, can you fit 3 stands touching it? Can you fit an MSU touching it to get?
Hold on, let me pull up turn 2.
Like as we go on,
you can.
I keep coming up with more qualifications of how terrain is supposed to
Yeah,
be.
there we go.
Like getting 3 stands to touch a forest is kind of important for the forest to be workable and usable.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, it works. Yeah, because for people who don't know, an MSU, which is 3 stands, has to have all of their stands touching to get the
Don't die
the
effect.
the obscuring bonus from obscuring terrain. Or yes, obscuring terrain. So that
There's a bunch of
enemies-
caveats, but basically you want all 3 standing on them.
Yeah, at least 3 stands. Sometimes 4.
Yeah.
I'll give this one a B minus because I think it probably needed some slightly bigger terrain, but it's still not bad. It still works.
Also, this is like open.
Yeah, it's all really open. Like the back
Over
ends are
there.
really open, but it's not.
It's
the
not
back ends
bad.
yeah, because you have a lot of space to move into position.
Yeah.
Where all the terrain is in the middle, where you are going to approach and do all that stuff.
So Saskatoon doing well. Tournament number 2. Also, the Saskatoon, the guy who ran it, basically did like, oh, we're just having a little local event, nothing too crazy, and then it exploded. And he was like, I need to find a venue.
I was like, I need more terrain and venue.
Yeah, so there was a bit of that for this one.
Yeah, that big rock. That's understandable.
Let's see. I think there's something over here, to be honest.
It looks like there's a piece of something. It's too far off to the edge, honestly. Is that like a wall or something?
No, that's broken. Or like
It's just broken.
or like, damage when you go through it. It's perilous or broken, either or.
Yeah. It's a really bare table. It's understandable, even with like the. But this is kind of on par with the Adepticon tables, in my opinion. This is not a failure immediately because it still adheres to a lot of the rules. So a D.
I'm learning your system.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. This was round 3.
Immersion broken. There's roads with painted. No,
It's a capitalist.
We didn't even stick it to the nuclear factory that bad, so I think
Yeah.
we've lost the moral high ground there.
yeah.
You saw that, or like, I can't even be bothered. You know what?
Yeah.
That's not that. That is water. This is actually
water?
something worse. It's like water and hindering combined. It's so bad. It was one of those like super bad ones.
That's the rough combo there. That's your cousin is your sister.
the Alabama spawn pool.
Yep.
There's the Alabama Slammer.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to get that on my
Don't
system.
worry.
You got
it. Turn 7? Oh yeah. No, it's even. Maybe it's turn 6. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm fucking fighting in it like an idiot. Yeah, it was bad. This is turn 5, so this is all I could do.
That center open space definitely got used.
Oh my god, that Fallen Divinity, that's where she basically slept the entire game.
Yeah. Like there's part of me it's like you should probably have like a forest or something nearby that space, but it seemed to get used okay. I do have concerns about how open everything is.
Yeah, like this was very an open map where the major pieces of terrain that really affected it were those 2 obstructions in the middle.
Yeah. So I'll give it a C because if they're actually affecting the game in a good manner, which it seems they did, it's not bad.
Yeah.
You know? Was there a zone there, or was there just 2
giant...
giant...
that's a zone. Here, I'll do it in...
Okay, I see it.
It's
just-
it's Maelstrom.
okay. It's like it had to have been. Okay. Oh, hey. There's these waters or forests.
I believe those are 2 waters and 2 forests.
Yep.
This one was very sparse. I don't know why.
Yep. So it's not a whole lot of terrain. The terrain is still in effective places though, so I'll give it a C plus.
Okay.
It could use more, but it's still not bad. I would still play on it.
Okay, and this is our 2-round Winnipeg local. Round 1.
Okay.
I have these recorded, I just have not edited them, and that was something I was planning to do this weekend, or like, I've taken a little break.
No, everyone needs that break. I took a whole week off just to do nothing. I spent the whole first day of the year just literally sleeping.
Oh wow, lucky. I got one of my, Cass knows, I got one of my teeth ripped out because it got a crack in it, and yeah, it's super fun. And whatever painkillers I'm on, they have a ton of caffeine, so I'm just awake.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm awake at like I go to bed from like at 2 in the morning and I sleep until 5 in the morning and then I'm just awake again. I'm like, this fucking sucks.
You know, a lot of painkillers, it's pretty easy to get the caffeine extracted from them, and then you just take the supplement and it just gets you high without bucking you up and ruining that for you. But that's definitely a Closer with Cassandra episode, not a BonkTable episode.
We need more of that.
Yeah.
Sure.
I have another set of painkillers that have codeine in them. Same thing. I was just awake because it also has caffeine in it as well for some fucking
Yeah, that's
reason.
what they do, so you can't get high on it.
I'm like, what the
Yep.
fuck?
Now, this table, I think there needs to be a hindering water just smack dab in the middle there, just straight up.
Is this to just make everyone suffer what Carl suffered, or just because?
Exactly.
Oh,
I think
okay.
everyone should suffer that at least once in their lifetime playing this game.
Everyone should play the wall.
No. Not the wall. Overall, I don't think it's a bad table. I do feel like there should be something closer to the middle somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, maybe push the 2 hills back a little bit and put a forest like covering some of the zone there, but not touching the markers. They could always be an option.
Just kind of like, here, hold on, let me draw this kidney bean.
I wouldn't say that bad, but like,
Hold on, let me just draw this donut.
oh my god,
The,
maybe not
the perfect forest. There's a magic fairy shrine in the middle, guys.
that. It's a mushroom circle. Go find it.
Oh.
No, but I'd say this is the B. It's not a bad one. I'd still play on it. I'd probably bitch a little bit if I was losing.
You just is that it now? It's like you just got to blame the table.
No, it's me making fun of some people. That's all.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair.
Uh,
Why are you? Are you already just like disappointed?
no, I'm not disappointed. I'm just thinking to myself, like, okay, there's like a few broken here. I'm assuming those black squares are broken as well.
Yes, they're like War Machine trenches,
Okay.
but they are broken.
It's definitely something
Oh.
you don't want to charge across.
There we go.
I think this is an okay table. Yeah, this is an okay table.
You know what? You got the reverse wall, the wall of pain.
It is like the reverse wall. It's like, yeah, just run across this. You can get over it. You'll be fine. Cavalry charges take 6 wounds.
I've had that happen in watching one Ashen Dawn model die, and I was like, this fucking sucks.
Yep. Exactly.
Rolled
yeah,
3
I'll-
6s, and I was like, oh, there goes a guy.
I'd say I'd be happy to play on this table. This will be an A.
Okay. It was a really good match.
Yeah. That broken is an interesting dynamic. It won't fucking matter to Nords, but
Don't they take half wounds anyway? But then they have tenacious on a majority of things that matter, so it's like, eh.
yeah, so like they're like, I just drop it. I don't care. So
Damn it. Fucking Nords ruining everybody's fun nowadays.
I don't think they're ruining everybody's fun. I think they're making their own fun and ruining everybody else's with their own.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's
You're
it.
not. Oh, that's it. That's all of them.
We have done all games I've played since I started doing recording and shit.
As we went on, there was an improvement over time from dog shit to our last one was an A.
Yeah, we did good, and we did hit some A's. What's great? We had one an S. What was the wall?
So I'm gonna argue that kind of like Pitchfork's record reviews in the 2000s, once we hit the first A, they started flooding in. So I almost feel like there was
a lot more B's.
Once the first A got scored, the edifice was cheapened, and suddenly anything could be an A.
I disagree. I am very particular about my. It was always waffling between B+ and A's, and I gave more B+ than I gave A's.
Well, I haven't been counting them, but maybe some listener or watcher can very much go over this whole thing and tally them up for us, because I'm not doing that.
I feel sorry for them if they do.
I don't. I think they watch all this and really understand tables.
We should have put this part at the beginning so that they would actually pay attention and do that work for us.
Now they get to rewatch the whole thing, so I get a second view on this video.
I can't wait to have my views on tables be nitpicked and pulled apart. And
oh God, you're right. That will happen. Someone's gonna say the wall is some glorious masterpiece, and Kang doesn't understand the neosecurities of this fucking thing, and it's no. Bad.
I'll go cry. I'll cry in my pillow at night.
Do you have a body pillow? Is it just like a T-Rex?
No.
Can we get you a T-Rex body pillow?
No, I have one of those sitting pillows where you sit against the wall.
Wait, that's a thing?
Yeah, it has the arms to go underneath your. It's hard to describe it.
4 floor, 4 chair, 4 wall. Oh, okay. I think I've seen these for children.
It's like a reading pillow or something.
Yeah, well, this one, they have the extra large memory foam reading pillow with armrest, ideal for gaming. $90.
Interesting. I do not have one of those. I have the cheap knockoff, soft one that doesn't keep shape.
Yeah, there's one for $33, and it's a popular choice.
See, all the pillow expenses go to my wife, who buys Squishmallows because she needs to hug something in her sleep, and she won't let me be hugged.
Wait a minute. She won't let you be hugged? She's not hugging you, or?
Yeah, she cannot hug me because I punch in my sleep. Okay.
Oh my God! What the fuck?
We've all been there.
She's like, I just want to love you. No.
Exactly. We got her a megalodon. One of those Squishmallow megalodons.
Oh, did you get what? You didn't get her an IKEA shark?
No, not a blahage.
Those aren't for cis people.
They're not for cis people.
Don't buy a blahage if you're a cis person. That's appropriation.
Pass.
What the? Now I'm just gonna do it out of spite.
Use that word on me.
Hey, I'm just saying, there's a blahage meme that's going around on Twitter that I personally love, but I think it'll prove, whatever your opinion of it is, that it's ours.
That's fair. Send
me the meme.
There's one person. He's a VTuber who has 17 blahages or something like that.
Jesus.
Yeah, well, we'll check in on her in a few years.
Yeah.
What was it? Celeste is the gateway drug to the trans world?
Oh my gosh.
There's a bit of me where it's I should go play Celeste, and I'm like, no.
It's not that it'll trans your gender, but it
I'm gonna look down one day and I'll be like, God damn it, what the fuck happened?
Honestly, you're gonna hate this.
Yeah.
But there's more of a chance that you're gonna come out a lady playing Armored Core 6 than you are Celeste.
No, man. I'm just gonna double down on the tank build, even if it sucks. You're gonna see me with my treads rolling over the hill. And you'll be like,
I'm bricked up in my brick house of a mech.
Yeah. Cass is running around here with her fucking lightweight build, and I'm just gonna be lugging around my fat ass all bricked up.
Hey, we can 1v1.
Yeah, he'll probably
okay.
kick my ass, but that's fine.
Oh, okay.
After that, we could 1v1 in Elden Ring.
Jesus Christ.
And there I'll get smoked.
Yeah, at least it's fair.
Oh dear. But yeah, that's been my thoughts on the terrain
Thank
placement.
you. What did you like our tables?
I hated them at first. But as time went on, I was like, okay, that's acceptable. That's all right. I'd play on that.
We learned and developed.
That's every interpersonal relationship I've ever had.
Oh my god.
Of course, there will always be a bias to my own tables because I enjoy, crafting a narrative for myself and absolutely shredding people with slingers and quaddles on fair tables so that they can't bitch and moan that, oh, your stuff is too cheap or, oh, your stuff is too powerful. No. Bitch, I ran through that forest on you. I did no impacts and I still beat your ass.
Just the body pillow isn't for you, it's for them.
Exactly.
Oh, it's good. Well, I'm glad you ranked all our tables. Also, I'm glad that we had such wide assortment of tables for you to rank and go over.
There was quite a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's a good data point of. Hopefully, people do watch this, even if it's on like a second monitor casually or something, just to be like, get an idea what a good table is and what not is a good table. Because some of these are really awful to play on.
No, I think the real table heads are going to show up for this one.
Oh, I hope so.
I hope so. We're going to get terrain kickers. We're going to get competent conquest.
Oh, boy.
Carl's going to make an appearance. He's going to be like, I fucking hate him. Don't let him make any more tables. Don't let him go to Chios. Don't let him near Leo.
You already get to go near Leo. You guys were at the same table at Adepticon.
It's true.
Carl's already failed that one.
He watched me die to bloodlust, and that's why it got changed.
Oh, thank fuck. Like, Bloodlust was bad. It was such a bad rule.
Yep.
Like, it wasn't even like get bonus anything for being Bloodlust. It was just like, just lose control and don't do anything.
God. Those are the days.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on and joining us. Like, I really appreciate it. I had a blast.
I always have fun when I get to listen or talk to Mass and Cass. Now I just need a third person named Ass.
Wait a minute, Cass. Can we get Skillin to play Celeste and then change his gender and find some ASS name like Cass with a C?
Yeah. No, check it out.
Sorry, Cass with a K.
With Math, Cass, and to be determined laugh.
Yeah, there you go.
I get $50 from George Soros every time I trans somebody's gender, so I'm always up for making $50.
Man, my checks still aren't coming in.
Wait, but you trans somebody?
No, I don't trans them. I take them out.
Wait, what?
I make them think. It's like, do I really want guys like this? Don't I just want to be a lesbian trans lady? No?
Many such cases.
Yeah.
What I like is that I didn't even try to be like this going into this at all, but it's just like, because this is my whole personality, it's just slowly gotten more and more prominent. Also, I'm just more comfortable with it, whereas initially I was like, oh, well, we have to have the whole story and everything, because what if the chuds are here? But now I'll just fight them, so it's fine.
No, who gives a fuck?
Exactly.
No one cares.
Everyone likes me, and everyone hates chuds, so...
Yeah, right? They fight amongst each other. It's fine. Their Teslas explode.
Oh my god. Steve's... Yes, I have seen the photo.
No,
I read that article.
When your Tesla explodes, the doors automatically lock, so you're in it.
You know what? Elon Musk must have been like,
doesn't get out and run down the street and get somebody else.
He was like, you know what's a great idea? Recreating the Galaxy 10 plane explosions, but inside a truck, and you can't leave.
My armor-plated trucks will withstand the explosion. What do you mean withstand the explosion? What
Yeah, and then-
explosion?
It'll full self-drive itself back to the dealership, and then they just hose it out because it's made out of aluminum.
Yeah, and they just like
And then-
pull your guts out. You're
Bingo,
gone.
bango, quality pre-owned.
Oh my god, it's BattleTech
Cybertruck.
logic. Save the metal, forget the meat.
Exactly.
It's true though. That thing is super expensive.
Oh my god.
I was joking around with a buddy earlier today, and I'm like, when the surveyor dies, the assistant picks up the total station and continues working. He's just like losing his mind. It's like, oh, that's why we have the assistant. It's like, yeah. When I get eaten by a fucking crocodile or something stupid, that motherfucker's got to know enough to keep going.
Going to get eaten by a polar bear one day.
I fucking hope not. Like, you guys joke about that, but it's like, nope. that's a big
not
nope.
joking. That's a real. That's a threat by nature.
Yeah, no, that's you don't win that. There's a reason why we shut down everything and everyone stays inside.
Yeah. Fucking crazy asses in Russia giving them fucking pizza rinds and shit.
Yeah,
It was
like,
good bear.
No, you're a good bear. It's just there. So, 2023, there was a bear attack on one site, and I was on that site. I don't know, a couple months later, and it was like, yeah, the bear attack happened right over there. I'm like, we're right beside the road. What the fuck? Like, this is right on one of the main roadways. Like, this was. It's like, yeah, you can see it right here. I'm like, what? This person.
Yeah, we didn't even move the skeleton.
Yeah, it was wild how close it was to just any remote amount of safety. And it was also like, no one decided to, I don't know, drive down the little side road and just hit the bear.
Yeah, I mean, like, no, the bear walked away.
Yeah, after eating the person, so.
That reminds me, though, the fucking bear in Yellowstone. He's literally been hit by a train twice and walked away.
Jesus Christ. One of my buddies worked as a train conductor, and he was like, yeah, we kind of just, like, put on the windshield wipers when we hit something.
Well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, they don't stop.
If the splatter got that high, it wasn't gonna live.
No, and, like, he's like, yeah, we've hit some bears and mooses and stuff. It's pretty bad.
God, hitting a moose.
Yeah. Well, it's literally just a big body with sticks for legs. It's a swamp animal.
It's a moose and a meeson.
Man, so I was up on the ice roads in northern Manitoba, and I'm shooting around this thing. What's up?
I'm sorry to interject, but I have to drop off here.
Okay.
I have to go do real life things.
Have fun. Thank you for being with us.
Yeah,
thank you,
it was fun, as always. It's always a pleasure to hang out with Kang. You've heard my dogs letting me know that it's time to stop doing the podcast probably throughout the last 20 minutes or so, but
they barking.
Anyway, yeah, they are. But have a good night, everyone. Thank you for doing this stuff and listening to it, depending on what your role has been up to this point.
Thank you, guys.
Bye,
Have
everyone.
a good night.
I guess. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Fucking good shit.
No, it's a great podcast. This is probably going to be a video, to be honest. I don't think I'm going to put it up as a podcast. There's way too much.
Probably should. There's such a visual element to it.
Yeah, and it's only a casual 3 hours.
Oh, hey, I didn't even think I was going to go that long.
No, I don't think anyone expects to go that long, but
I can't wait to listen back to it and like cringe at my voice the entire time.
Oh, don't worry, you'll be fine. That's why I don't listen to my own stuff, because I can't stand it.
Yeah. I have that fascination though. Is like, what do I sound like? Am I a different person?
No, probably not. Well, yes, to you, but to us, no.
Yeah. Exactly.
You're also like 10 and 32 inches tall, so like just getting bigger.
Oh my god.
You imagine it's like, is that the Emperor of Mankind? It's like, no, it's just Kang.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey there.
God damn.
Just shining gold.
I need to play more games. God. I've been trying to get a game set up for fucking ages. I was like, I'm off this entire week. Does anyone want to play Conquest?
Oh yeah, it's been rough, and I gave up. I played one game with Carl. Sadly, the recording stopped, so it didn't record. Carl kicked my ass. It was pretty fucking brutal.
Yeah.
It sucked ass for that one, but those games happen. And I have just done no games since because it basically just went into Christmas and now into New Year's, and now it's like, okay, maybe I'll play this weekend. I'm not really sure. I should find out. Hold on. Okay, we'll find out if I get a reply.
Yeah, there you go.
Just like, I'll just put this one out. And then I gotta figure out, what do I gotta figure out? Podcasters Assemble? Yes, I have to figure that out.
Yeah.
So,
Gotta figure that out. Gotta get everybody assembled and all that good shit.
okay, so you said yes, now I gotta get him to reply to the first question.
There you go.
Alright, well now I'm just doing background stuff. Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you for joining me, myself and Cassandra.
No
I really
problem.
appreciate it. Is there anything you want to plug at the end?
I have no real social media. I'm sure if you look around, you could probably find me in places, but I have none that is a presence. And I'm not a content creator. I host events. I'm a Vanguard on the Discord. Kang, you just type that in. You'll probably find me. And message me if you have questions or anything like that, or if you just want to badmouth me to my face, because I would much appreciate that.
Remember, everyone, he's 15 feet tall and 92 inches. It's fucking crazy.
15 and 92.
Like, I really want to stress how bad of an idea that is to meet him in physical life. Like,
I wouldn't.
I was coming up to his knee, and I'm 6 feet tall.
That's a lie. Come on now, Mass.
You're just a modest 20 feet.
Just keep listening to BonkTable. Good people here. Everyone's great. Love the content.
Yeah.
You know,
thanks, man.
Be kind to each other. Just a little bit.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop getting into fights.
Yeah, for real. I've seen the Discord. All right.
All right. Well, thank you, Kang. For BonkTable plugs, we got the BonkTable Discord. Join that in the description below. We have the BonkTable YouTube channel where you're probably watching this.
Hopefully.
Yeah, most likely, because I'm probably not making this a podcast. Like, there's very little chance I'm doing that. And there's the podcast. Go listen to that. We did, as of recording, the latest episode was Race to the Bottom, where we tried to find out what the worst thing in the entire game was. Spoiler, Kang, the Drum Beast was on the list. You can figure out what placement it was at.
I'm not surprised. It's probably like second or third, maybe the first. If it's the first, I'm not surprised.
Now, don't worry, we found something worse.
Oh, okay. Second and third it is then.
Yeah. It did very well for getting to the bottom, though. It was like, oh, yeah. Well, okay, so, like, we went through the faction and found, like, 2 or 3 things in the faction that were bad, and then, like, threw them in the running, and then went from there, and then we had the things that were in the running compared to each other, and then made their placement. So
that's fair. Okay.
So, like, we did talk about Blooded, you know, we talked about multiple bad things and did pick one that was the worst.
You know, Chinchilla did a great rundown of everything, and he was very clinical, and he didn't put all of his emotions into it and everything that he and I talk about and commiserate about.
Because he's a doctor.
God damn, Blooded. They got so absolutely shafted. Yeah. I swear. Oh, my boys.
No, I know everyone has a bunch of them, but also everyone has a bunch of Braves, and it's just...
It's true.
You just kind of swap their purpose at this point. I get it. Like, Ladroon's really strong, though. Like, they're still a really good faction. It's just...
Like, it can't be said enough that I don't think anyone who plays the faction has an actual issue with the faction's power. It's everything around that. It's everything that builds towards the structure and the feel and the flavor of the army. And this isn't what this podcast is about, or what this episode's about. But yeah,
So you get to say whatever you want. Like, I'm gonna tell you something. That episode was like 2.5 hours ish. We were on track for the first hour and a half and got through the entire thing, and then we totally went off topic. So there's like an hour of just back end nonsense for everyone to listen to, but it has nothing to do with anything.
I'll be listening to it while I'm on the road for work.
Yeah, that's what it's for.
So
long format content for the people who travel.
Yep. I just drive around a lot and kill things.
What the
my job?
What? Seriously?
I'm pest control.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, like, hopefully you're animal control and not just like, are you just like some random gang member, just like, I gotta go kill some people?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not this side of Michigan. Other side, maybe. Oh dear.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. Do more BonkTable stuff. Have some fun.
Exactly. I'll see y'all around.
Bye, Kang.
Bye, Mass. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Mwah.